Black man, if you want to change your outcome, it starts with you. You got to be the first person to take responsibility for what's around you and create that future for yourself.
Black man, if you want to be a leader in your family, you have to be willing to submit as well.
Black man, you matter. Your presence is valuable. Your future is worth fighting for. You are loved. I need you to keep pushing through. Things are only temporary. We love you.
Welcome back to the podcast. I started this podcast as a way to help Black men in all aspects of our lives. Studies show on average we lose 2.8 years of our life when we're under heavy stress. And I think we can gain those 2.8 years back if we express ourselves healthily. Stick with me as I interview therapists, doctors, advocates, activists, and friends about how we can be better as Black men and as a Black community. If you're not subscribed to us on YouTube and following us on Instagram and TikTok, you'll definitely want to do that. Without further ado, let's get into the episode.
All right, y'all. Back with another episode, man. We are back with another episode. This is going to be a good one. Back with the guys. Dimetri, Mel, David. I'm excited to have y'all. I feel like we haven't had a whole group conversation.
It's been a while.
Even though I feel like I would want to spend more time with y'all. But there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot.
We're gonna make time.
There's a lot going on that I cannot say right now.
Right.
But we will have a conversation at a later date where we talk offline about all the things that's happening right now. Where y'all understand why, I gotta make some moves and not necessarily be here after this.
Got you.
So anyways, right? I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Before we get into, I want to talk about mother wounds and I want to talk about life and all that. Before we get into all that, how are y'all doing on a scale of 1 to 10? Where y'all say y'all at right now?
7.
7.
It's a 7 because 1, start a new position at my job.
Okay, fine.
So I'm no longer physically stressing, no more physical stress on my body.
Right.
It is a lot of work, a lot of mental work, but it's peaceful.
Okay.
So I haven't really been stressing about that. Mm-hmm. And the raise that I had got from it gave me an opportunity to actually go more harder in the stock market. So I'm budgeting very strictly, OD. So that makes me feel wealthy in a sense because it's I'm actually organizing stuff. So yeah,
okay.
It's a 7 for sure.
You don't get to choose for me.
Go ahead. You always go last.
I'll be a 6.
Elaborate.
A lot going on, but like I said, just focusing on the things that I could change. Not really stressing about what I can't. I'm just doing what I got to do and taking everything day by day.
I'm at in between a 7 and an 8.
I knew you were about to say an 8.
Yeah.
It looks like an 8 right now. Yeah, you.
Boy. I'm like,
Man,
that's
good though.
Yeah,
What's going on? What's happening?
Working, businesses is doing the thing, doing what it do. Mm-hmm. Only reason why I'm not a 9 or in between a 8 and a 9. Yeah. More sleep, when you got a 14-month-old, man, it's
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man, her sleeping pattern is all messed up and out of whack and stuff. So, but yeah, bro, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm Gucci, man.
That's good, bro.
What about you?
I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of good things happening in life right now, bro.
Yeah,
it's in terms of the quality of life that I have, I would say probably an 8 or 9. In terms of what I feel though right now, I probably say a 4, bro. Not not in I'm a depressed or
okay.
or
but
sad.
Just the amount of work that you're doing and everything. Got you. That's putting you. Yeah.
4 is crazy.
So you're grateful because you at that 8 or 9,
bro.
But the work that's involved is wear and tearing, so you at a 4 or 5.
Bro, I'm I need to chill. This is my last podcast episode for probably 2 months.
What you gonna be doing in between?
Bro, I got Naeem and I got a lot of stuff that's happening. She got work stuff, I got work stuff. I'm about to be hitting conferences, more speaking engagements over the next few months. XYBM stuff. We making changes to Safe Haven now, so we brought on a software firm to do changes. So I'm meeting with them and talking to them about stuff. You feel me? So it's it's a lot, and that's just some. There's another thing that's even adding even more to that. There's 2 other things that's adding even more to that. I'll talk to y'all about that all.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
But it's bro, it's a lot. So that's why I'm saying I'm grateful because it's everything that I'm doing. It's not I'm doing stuff because it's not I'm doing stuff that I don't feel valued you know, are valuable,
Right.
that I don't think are valuable, is just the fact that I'm doing so many different things. Like if I think about it right now, I have like probably like 5 to 6 open tabs right now of big things. It's not like things that you could just be like, I'm not going to check on this.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta actually make sure I'm looking at it and dealing with it. So it's like,
that's a good problem now.
yeah, it's a good problem to have,
but
it's also it could be a bad problem. So like even yesterday, Naeem and I we was out celebrating her for you know, her whole family was celebrating her for like some recent promotion that she got a job, which is great. But we was out to like 2. You feel me? And you know, we got back home. I hadn't eaten because I had recorded 3 episodes yesterday. So then after I did the 3 episodes, I went out with her. And we went out to this spot and we did this like, this dinner, but it wasn't enough food. Plus I basically didn't eat all day.
Right.
So then I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just go to Crown Fly, grab something real quick.
Yeah, we know you hate that. We know you hate
that was like a last resort kind of situation.
Last resort, I'm just no really doing the spots open unless you want me to go to McDonald's, and I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
You know what I'm saying? So like I did 3 a.m. Crown Fried, fell asleep right in there, woke up at 4. Like fell asleep at like 4, then I had to wake up, go get my hair cut. Then, you know, I came right into it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you feel me? It's like,
Yeah.
so after this, you already know what I'm about to do. I got to break all this stuff down and I got to go dip do the Super Bowl thing. Then you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot of things. You get what I'm saying.
It's a lot.
Right? You get what I'm saying? And that's just a couple of things.
That's not even.
That's
like,
not even.
That's just like that's the one things that just gonna happen because it's happening. Yeah,
that's not even the real right. Like what's really stressful right now. So it's like, I appreciate being able to have this conversation because it gives me a space to just be like, yo, this was happening, bro.
Right.
So yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, man, because I feel like I don't really have these conversations, you know. But let's get into the topic. Mm-hmm. We discussed mother wounds last time.
Yeah.
And we briefly touched on it. And one of the things that you said, Mel, you talk about growing up in a single parent household. Mm-hmm. And I want you to like explain what it was like growing up with your mom at that time.
Got you.
Like, what her parents and style was like, that kind of thing.
By default, she had to be tough. Mm-hmm. So you gotta realize, like, paint the picture. This is paint the picture in the scenery. It's me, my older brother, my younger brother. So I'm the middle. All right, so you're raising 3 boys, South Jamaica Queens. That's a task within itself. You know what I mean? So, we had help. I had my grandmother, and I had like, I guess we could say like father figures around, but it's not like mom and pops. You know what I mean? So that was a lot on her. I feel like it was a lot because it was just so many things. Like you see like how you just explained there's a lot going on. Yeah. Like in retrospect, now I could look back and be like, damn, my mom was doing a lot. My grandmother would say so she's a caregiver for my grandmother. Then you got to raise 3 boys. My brother got in trouble, so we got to send him to Florida to live with my uncle. So then you working double because you got to take care of the household. So you don't really have time to like just decompress. Right. So at her, I can look at it as a parent now, like that's a lot to deal with. You know what I mean? Especially if you don't have the help and everything going on according to what you got to do. So yeah.
When I'm thinking about that now is, I don't know if you look at it as a disadvantage in a way, but I think a lot of women are not capable of sacrificing themselves for their family. And being that you didn't have your father in the household, she had to assume a role as
she had to play both roles.
And a father. Yeah. And, you know, she might not have been able to be as nurturing as she needed to be.
Facts.
But you still needed that father.
OD.
And she was able to give you, you know, that. Yeah. Even though she's a woman, but she's still able to give you that. You and your brothers. Yeah. So I'd say, it's like a 50-50. You know, I kind of say you lucked up. You probably missed out on a couple of things, but I feel like you being how you are now, it just shows like how great of a woman your mom.
Facts. And what makes it even more better now, like I have my daughter and I see that because now she got the time to like be nurturing, be like caring. I see that.
Oh, your mom.
Yeah, my mom. She did that with my daughter. So it's like
a second chance.
I could literally drop my daughter off for a week and my mom off, bro. I call in, check in. She was like, "Yo, we good?" Like, stop calling us. Like, she want to be with my daughter. Like That's like her little girlfriend. Exactly. So it's like I didn't get to see that, obviously, because of the circumstance, but now I get to see it like firsthand with my child. So it's like a blessing in disguise to see it. You know what I mean?
A lot of grandparents, like a second chance to
she be calling me, bro. She don't even ask me how I'm doing. Bro, 5 minutes in the conversation, 5 seconds in the conversation.
Yeah.
How's my girlfriend? Like, damn, like, bro, like, she like, I know you good. I don't gotta worry about you. Like, how's my real child? It's like damn, like, what a love for me at, bro. You feel me? But I love it though. You know, like, because I never thought, not even saying like I didn't fathom it, but it's like we got help on both sides. So now I got Junie's family, I got my family. Like everybody comes together. You know, they say it's a village. It take a village to raise a child. So everybody comes together and they pitch in. So I don't never have to worry about certain things, and I could handle things. I could compartmentalize certain things, like as far as work, business, like everything is handled, and my child never goes without. Because, granted, even if I don't have it, somebody's gonna be like, "Yo, don't worry about it. Like you good." Like there's always something there. Like I'm blessed to even have that situation where like I never have to worry.
That's dope. That's a fire situation to be in.
I never have to worry, bro.
Talk to me about how important it is for you to have that support as a man, because I feel like oftentimes we get into the thought process that, you know, we need to be doing everything for our family.
Absolutely.
And did you fall victim to that as well? Like, do you feel comfortable having them do stuff, or you be like, I don't
Nah, it be, bro, like, because growing up, being that my mom had to do a lot of things for the household, I had to figure shit out. You feel what I'm saying? That's why, like, it took me a while to get out of the habit of not asking for help. Like, it took me a while. Like, even now, it's like, I'd be a little apprehensive to ask people because I'm like, yo, everybody got their own shit going on. You feel what I'm saying? But I only use that resource if I know, like, it's becoming too overwhelming for me. And I'm like, yo, I need some other type of, even if it's guidance, support, whatever, like, I'm like, all right. But I figured out a way, not saying that that's the right way, but I figured out a way, like, all right, this is what I need to do and how I need to do it. But the fact that I have support, bro, like, it's amazing, bro. I'm not gonna lie, son. Because there be times when I come home from work, I gotta take a call. That's already handled. I feel like as long as you communicate, that's the most important thing. As long as somebody know what you gotta do, and you're not just throwing them like, yo, I get home, take off my clothes, go shower, do what I gotta do, eat, and then I'm not participating. But I feel guilty because I gotta handle what I'm handling for my family, but at the same time, I'm not spending as much time with my child. So then it's like, you got that balance where you got to figure that out. So that's why sometimes on the weekend, I don't even touch my phone. Like, it's to the point where it's like, I just want to spend time with my child just to see how she's developing, because throughout the week, I'm not really able to do that. You know what I mean? So I don't want to put it on Junie to do everything. You know what I mean? And by default, sometimes she has to, but she's like such a team player that I never have to be like,
she don't make you feel no type of way.
Bro, like, she's like essential. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she really holds it down. I could never, ever. Y'all was there when she called me just now, Mel playing FaceTime. Like, she's with her. And she, you know, that they build that rapport, but it's amazing, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Just long story short, it's an amazing vibe, bro.
Nah, that's love, bro.
It's amazing, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you see a lot of people, they get into relationships and not even to go on a tangent, but they get into relationships and they like, yo, my child's mother is this and my child. Like, I don't have that issue, bro. Yeah. Like, I really don't have that issue. And that's not to say that there will never come a time where we don't get into disagreements, because, you know, we human. Like, you know, she feels some type of way about certain shit. I feel some type of way about certain shit. But at the end of the day, we compromise because we know the goal is bigger than us. Like, the goal is not just about how you feel or how I feel. It's about how we both feel about the situation. We come to a compromise, and then we figure out from there on. It's like, all right, we know what we got to do. I know you don't like this. I know you don't like this. We come to some type of common ground at the end of the day. It's never, we not going to discuss it. We're going to discuss it. We're going to get to it if we got to get to it. But it's more so like, this is what it is, and this is how, like, I don't have to deal with a lot of shit that I see a lot of guys go through, bro. I don't have to deal with that, bro.
It's a blessing.
That's one less headache, because men don't talk about that, bro. When they in situations where you kind of didn't luck up. You kind of didn't luck up. And now your situation is you got placed on child support, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I ain't trying to go on a tangent, but.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, go ahead.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
I'm blessed, bro.
Yeah. Earlier, Dimetri, you were talking about, like, grandparents having, like, a second chance to, like, do parenting again. Can you explain what you mean by that?
I mean, like, you know, a lot of times the parents that we grew up with, they didn't really have a lot of experience or even examples of what like parents, should look like. There's no like clean cut way of how to be a parent. But if you don't have an example of what to do because, they didn't have it either.
Yeah.
You're kind of just swinging it. So, we have like our issues with like our parents growing up, but it's like, we got to understand, they doing this for the first time, just like we doing this for the first time. So, whatever things that they messed up on when they were raising us and, being that they had to work all the time or they didn't have much time to do anything else. They older now, they either they retired or close to the retirement. They got more time. Now they can focus on, all right, you know what? I didn't have time to do this. Not like they're making up for it, but it's like, now they have like, a better experience. Like they have their grandkids. They're like, you know what? I could do all the things that I wasn't able to do with my kid, with their kid. And, sometimes the grandparents and your kid end up being like a lot closer.
Yo, facts.
Those situations,
Yeah.
Facts.
I love that, bro. I know y'all got kids.
No.
Do y'all feel like y'all children are helping y'all to heal? And in what, because you should get ahead immediately. And in what ways? And I want you to think about it.
In many ways, bro. Healing that void of, like, I'm looking at her and the inner child in me is looking at her like, damn, like, I can make up for, affirmations. I can make up for, like, all the things I wasn't able to get when I was a child. I can make up. And so that heals me because now she repeats it. Like, when we in the mirror and before I go to work, like, and she's up, she got a mirror in her room. So we in the mirror and we be like, I am beautiful. I am worthy. Like, I'm instilling that in her. So even if she doesn't understand it, she knows to repeat it. So when she gets older, she's going to understand it. But it's just a lot, bro. Like, it's hard for me to think about everything right now. But, it's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Dimitri, you got something?
It definitely teaches me a lot of patience.
Okay.
Do
you feel like you've been impatient in your life?
Yeah, with a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
For a long while. Now I'm older now and I can't really. I feel like I have more patience with other people and less patience with myself.
Okay.
With a lot of things.
Okay.
Whatever love that I might have been looking for, like, in other people, the love that you get from your kid doesn't amount, nothing else amounts to that, man.
No.
When somebody is actually happy to see you all the time and you walk in, man, I get home from work and then I see my son and it's like, he could be doing whatever he was doing. As soon as he see me, jumps off or whatever and then he's just like excited, man. Sometimes I stare at him randomly. He could just be watching TV, he could be playing whatever. I stare at him and I can't help but tear up, man, because I just be thinking like, yo, damn, like I'm a father for real.
Yeah.
I take my time with him. Anything that he doing, I just watch him. I don't stop him from doing, unless it's gonna put him in danger. I don't stop him from doing anything. I just let him explore. I let him just, do his thing. And I'm just there right behind him, like, just in case anything happen. But
what do y'all think has been like the biggest lesson that y'all have had from fatherhood? Because I want y'all are in it right now, so y'all are dealing with it right now. And me and David,
Y'all on the outside,
yeah,
chilling.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get as much game right now from y'all. So when I get to that point, eventually, I'm never gonna be fully prepared. But I want to get the game from y'all right now because y'all are in it right now. Like you have a 14-month-old. Yeah. And how 10 months. So y'all.
We
You know what I'm
down
saying?
there,
So-
right there, yeah.
What's like one of the main things that you've learned, or maybe one of the biggest things that you like weren't aware of, or whatever, something that you feel like you want to impart on David and I?
Bro, as soon as your child start walking and running, it's clipped. You gotta have gates. You gotta have everything, child safety lock. You gotta. It's a lot, bro. But it's just so fun to see them like walk around on their little feet and all that.
Yeah.
But it teaches you patience because, like, again, like you said, like you just let them explore
Yeah.
and you don't try to like cut their autonomy short. Like you let them do what they want to do because they gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day. Like there be times Mel be on the bed and it's like when I'm trying to put her in her bed, she be like, no, like she would literally fight me to do that. Like it's to the point where she's almost tired that I could do that. You know what I mean? So I just let her do it. I be like, you don't want to do it? Cool. We don't gotta do it. You don't got to do it. We'll try it again in 5 minutes. I give you 5 minutes. Give her 5 minutes. And it's like, when you just see that, it's like, damn, was I like that? So that brings a conversation of, and you talking to your parents. The conversations is different now when you have kids.
Yeah. What are those conversations like now?
Just nursing. Like, my mom is always there to be like, because she'll notice something. As far as like when we bring Mel over or I bring Mel over, she'll know like, all right, is she eating a lot? Like, is she not eating? Like, what's going on? Like, is she pooping regularly? So she peeps everything. There's a rash that she might have known that she thought we didn't know about. It's just like every little thing, even the nuanced things that you would think that she didn't pay attention to, like she pays attention. And she has the time to do that. So she pays attention more. But now she's hitting my line like, yo, make sure you get this. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do this. Like, make sure, like, when she's like this is what I do to put her to sleep. Like, this is my trick. This is what I do. Like, so the conversations are a lot different. And then my mom comes to me as like a friend now, more so like than a son. She talking to me about all her problems and financial aspects. She want me to check this and that. When you show that level of trustworthiness, I always been that type of person with my mom before, but now it's just like a different level. It's a new hype. So now I'm just looking at her like, damn, like I feel that responsibility. But then again, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like I'm just saying all this to say like I'm blessed, bro. Like I really have no malice. Like even everything, I feel like everything that I went through in my life before got me to this point. So I don't even have no ill will towards anything that ever happened, bro. Like even going back to the mother wounds thing, like I know my mom made those sacrifices because she had to. Like when we would have been out of the street, you feel what I'm saying? Like even down to like when I made music and I made the song Foreclosure, that was that. You feel what I'm saying? Like that was a big thing for me to even be that vulnerable to even say all of those things. But now looking back, it's like, damn, like imagine if this woman didn't make those sacrifices. You feel what I'm saying? So now I don't take that lightly, bro. I just look at it and be like, damn, like life really played out.
Exactly, yeah.
It really played out the way it needed to.
So like we sitting in this crib right now, and this crib is a product of a lot of the sacrifices that my mom made, bro. Like I talk about how, you know, my mom was at home a lot. My mom was working crazy hours, bro. Wake up 4 a.m., leave 4:30, you know, a.m. And then she would get back home on a good day like 8 p.m. That's a lot.
That's crazy, bro.
Crazy. I wouldn't believe this if I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds crazy, bro. She did that for 30-something years, bro. 32 years.
Shout out to your mom, bro. Word.
Because that's a lot of hours.
Word. Shout out to your mom, bro.
That's a lot of hours.
That's a lot of time.
So when I think about the fact that, like, she wasn't as affectionate and she didn't say, I love you,
bro,
I can't be mad.
Bro,
I'm not saying I love you after working from 4:30 to 8 p.m. Get out my face!
And you got a Caribbean mom, too. So, you know, that wasn't happening.
So it's like, bro, like, I get it, bro. Yeah. I couldn't hold on to the resentment that I had anymore because, like, bro, how can you resent somebody that willingly sacrificed their life and livelihood for you? Literally, I watched my mom, I literally watched how my mom's body deteriorated over the years, bro. Because when you work in those hours,
you see
for anybody, it's a lot, but especially a woman, bro. And I'm not saying women are weak or anything like that. I just don't believe women are supposed to be working. Like, I truly don't believe women are supposed to be working like that. This is one of my core beliefs. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree with you.
Say it's sexist or whatever. I don't give a damn.
I agree.
I don't think women should be working that much. I think we should be taking that toll on if we need to for family. Right? So seeing my mom work that much for 30-something years, bro. I remember I put a post up. I was like, yo, I want to retire Naima. People were like, yo, you want to control her. Da-da-da. I'm like, y'all have no idea why I'm saying this, bro. I watched my mom work 30 plus years. 4 a.m., waking up at 4 a.m., not coming back to the crib until 8 p.m. or later.
Crazy, bro.
I watched my dad or listen to my dad tell me at a young age, and tell me multiple times, I don't even know if he remembers this. He would literally tell me, I wish I could retire your mom. I just can't.
That's crazy.
Because he couldn't land a job, couldn't get a stable income. So this man is watching his wife work herself into the ground for the family. Not only is that happening, but I'm also cognizant of that as well. I remember one day, bro, was in this living room upstairs, bro.
Mhm.
I happened to be up around the time my mom was going to work. It may have been like a Saturday or a Friday or something like that. I just happened to be up for some reason. And bro, I will never forget the look on her face, bro. She said something like, man, I'm so tired. I don't want to go into work today. And I looked at her face and I saw how depleted this woman was, bro. Damn. And that's like
That's
what
breaks you down.
bro, that's,
It
yo, I'm
breaks
telling you,
down,
bro.
It
That
does.
should change me
It does.
forever, bro. So when y'all see me, y'all like, yo, bro, you be going, Nick, I don't know. I don't know how to stop.
It was ingrained in you.
You get what I'm saying?
It's
I can't,
ingrained, bro.
I can't.
Bro, that'd be me too.
I look at Naima like how I look at my mom going to work that day. Not to say that, you get what I'm saying? Not to say that I'm saying that Naima's my mom, but it's like, I see
Naima, the work ethic.
No, you
You
see
get what I'm
that.
saying? I don't want Naima to have to make the same decisions my mom had to make.
Yeah.
I tell Naima all the time, yo, babe, when you ready, we
Let
good.
me know. All right.
When you ready, we good. If you want to keep working your job, for sure, keep doing what you need to do. But if you want to be kicked up, we good.
No, Naima, she ain't even.
She not gonna do that. She not gonna go
She
for
probably
that.
work less hours.
She not gonna go for that. But I'm letting her know,
what
like,
I'm
yo,
saying?
you ain't
Yeah.
gotta do that because I watch my dad as a man, like, literally struggle with that. And he won't say it to this day, but I know he struggled with that.
Of course.
He struggled with that heavily, being a man and not being able to get your wife out of a situation that you know isn't good for her health in the long run. That's why they going so hard to go to Ghana right now. Cause like for him, it's like, yo, this is finally the opportunity that I have to give my wife everything that she deserves. This crib in Ghana and just allow her to relax and kick her feet up. Cause she worked so hard
Facts.
just for us to be able to be in a position to even be able to do this. So that's why I go so hard in my relationship right now. And it's because it's like, bro, I've seen what working long hours for years at a time does to a woman. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the toll that consistent stress does to a woman. And when I have kids with Naima, I don't want her to be in a state of stress. I don't want to be in a state of stress either, because we also pass down as men.
Exactly.
We pass that down to our children. So I told Naima, like, I saw this thing on social media. I think it's super powerful. And I wanted to just talk to y'all about, I know you don't have a kid yet. Y'all probably have more kids, but I just wanted to float this idea out there. Like, yo, maybe next time before y'all have y'all next kid or whatever, or before you have a child, like really plan it out in the sense of like, not saying y'all didn't plan out and y'all didn't have y'all stuff together, but really plan it out in the sense of like, yo, we know we want to have a kid in like a year or so. I'm going to go on a fast. I'm going to get my mind right. I'm going to get my health
Oh,
right.
I seen that.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I
I'm
think I seen that.
gonna do a lifestyle change so that my body is in like the best shape
I seen that.
holistically.
Yeah.
So that whatever seed I'm passing through,
They said all the women morning sickness and everything is from the men.
It's from
like
exactly.
postpartum, all that.
you get what I'm saying? So like, I want to make sure that Naima doesn't have to deal with any of that. So I told Naima like, yo, when before like the year or so before we have a kid, I'm going on a crazy, bro. I'm going on a crazy. That's the least I could do.
As a man, yeah.
That's the least I can do. I'm not carrying the child.
That's a fact, bro.
You ain't-
That's why you want the pregnancy to just be smooth sailing.
Bro, I told Naima, whatever you need, I'll yo,
I said, you need ice cream from Idaho? I got you. We order
Nah,
that.
yo, y'all not understanding what I mean, but
I believe.
you're not.
What that big cheese from New York?
You're not
I got you.
understanding what I mean, but I mean, like real life.
Yeah.
I have a pager on me, like I got a device on me. Like she press a button, I'm there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain buttons for certain things. Like if we know you like certain things, we gonna set up a custom button for it. So all you gotta do is press a button and I see ice cream. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. I
go
get
in
the ice
crib
cream.
without the ice.
You feel me? Don't walk in the crib without the damn ice
Got a
cream.
problem.
Feel me?
Walk to the crib.
Yeah. Like that's the type of time that I'm gonna be on.
Yeah.
Like when it's time for her to carry our child, she not doing nothing. I already told her. She's like, you're not gonna have me doing. I said, you're not doing nothing. And Naima very also stubborn. You know what I'm saying? So she likes to like be able to do things for herself and all that. I told her, yo, babe, I get that, but I want you to be in a state where, not saying that you are helpless, I want you to be in a state where you feel like you can rely on me to do these things. So don't feel like you gotta be out here lifting boxes and doing this and doing. Don't be on that type of time.
Half the time they'll just do it and don't touch me.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah,
Yeah.
stop,
Yeah.
Bro, listen,
Stop.
listen.
Stop, bro.
I'm not in that boat, but I done see.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
My uncle,
it's
but what?
It's the
I'm taking that box upstairs and you ain't stopping.
Yeah,
I get it, bro.
I commend you on that.
Nah,
that's honorable.
That's dope.
Nah, for real, bro.
Honorable.
All right, I'm interrupting this podcast episode to let you guys know to leave a review on the podcast. Please, 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 if you are listening to this episode and you're finding value in this episode, you're enjoying the conversation, or you've enjoyed a previous episode or conversation, and it's safe to operate your phone right now, please leave us a review. Your review is a free and easy way to support us, and it helps us reach more people like you. We're on a mission to build a stronger, more connected Black community, starting with Black men. And you can help us on that mission by taking a minute out of your day to leave a review. Your review helps us generate more listeners, which in turn generates more revenue, allowing us to expand the platform even further. So please take a few seconds out of your day. I know you're busy. I understand. I know you're doing a lot, but it will help us greatly if you would just take a few seconds out of your day to leave a review right now. Did you leave a review yet? All right, let's get back to the episode.
My family has there's a lot of beauty and love in my family, but there's also a lot of dysfunction. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm paying close attention to the dysfunction. And the reason why is because I want to make sure that I don't introduce that into my family as well. And I think it's important for us to take the lessons from what we see in our family that we don't agree with.
Yes.
Not only taking the lessons in the sense of, okay, this happened and not, like we learn from it, but what led up to this? What is the history? Who's involved in these things? What does their life look like? Mm-hmm. And when I really take stock of all the dysfunction, I notice a couple things in my family. There's no male leadership. Mm. It's not a lot of male leadership.
Same.
Right? It's not a lot of male leadership. Also, there's not a lot of thinking around decisions.
Same.
It's not a lot of critical thinking around decisions.
Same.
Things are
impulsive.
Things are too lax or impulsive.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
We're not really thinking about the repercussions of what could happen if something happens here. Right? And so I've learned to think critically when it comes to these things. That's why I spend so much time just in self-reflection and really trying to understand stuff. My mom tells me, like, you and not even think too much. I said, I have to.
You think too much is crazy.
That's crazy.
The thing is, she raised me to be that way.
Exactly.
I have to. You know why? Because I'm not going to introduce a child I'm not bringing a child into dysfunction.
Yeah.
Bro, I agree with that.
I'm not. I refuse. I refuse.
I agree with that.
I refuse.
I agree with that.
I agree on you.
I refuse, bro. So it's like, bro, I'm gonna think it, and then I'm gonna rethink it a little bit. Then I'm gonna thinking about it again, and then we're gonna make a decision. Because I'm not rushing into any of that. I want it to be so that when my child comes through, like when our child comes into this world, we got everything set. Things are basically on autopilot. Yep. Like in terms of not in terms of like the parenting, we gonna forever have to figure that out.
There's no blueprint for
it. But my child, by the time they're 18, 21, whatever the case may be, they shouldn't have to worry about nothing.
Exactly.
Bro.
They shouldn't have to worry about anything. If I set stuff up properly,
I felt that.
Shouldn't have to worry about anything. Your health should be good. You shouldn't have any health complications. Why? Because we set a blueprint from jump. Like, this is what your life is going to look. This is what you're doing. My parents I never saw a gym until I was probably like 16, 17.
That's crazy.
Like an actual physical gym.
Crazy.
Because we didn't have the means for it, one, but also because that wasn't introduced in our culture as a thing that we do. Mm-hmm. So now when it's time for me to actually get my body right and learn how to eat and do all these different kind of things, I don't even know what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a fact.
I'm eating Pop-Tarts thinking that I'm bulking. You get what I'm saying? My parents did the best they could, but you got to learn from the dysfunction. Not saying that necessarily was dysfunction in itself, but you got to learn from some of the things. Yeah. Think about what led up to it, bro. So I spent a lot of time in that self-reflection, bro. And I love my family to death, and I appreciate my parents for making me this way. Amen. And I truly believe, like, this is a principle that I have as a man, and just I think everybody should have for their family is every generation should be better than the next.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
There's no reason why this generation set a foundation and we digging underneath.
Nah.
No.
We're going back downstairs.
Facts.
What are we doing?
Facts.
Yeah.
I agree 100%, bro.
There's no reason why
100%.
my parents will set a foundation and I can't build on top of that. I don't care how shaky the foundation is. You got something to work with. You patch it up, you add another pillar, and then you build on top. But you don't want to knock everything down and then start thinking, like, nah. And that's how some people are, bro. You supposed to, bro, I'm on a rant right now.
Nah, you look good, bro. You look good.
I like that.
I'm loving this combo right now, bro.
Let me say this last thing, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
Let me say this last thing. Bro, when our parents, a lot of our parents, your mom is an immigrant?
Yes.
Your parents immigrants?
I never really asked them that.
Grew up in Haiti?
To be honest.
Did they were they born in Haiti and came over here?
I would have to ask my mom that, to be honest.
You know.
Your parents immigrant.
Our entire family.
Okay. Right? My parents, immigrants, they immigrated to the United States. When you immigrate to the United States, you don't have the same opportunities as someone that's born in the US. Right? I used to be annoyed when my parents used to tell me, that's like, shut up. Whatever. You walked on dirt roads. Who cares? Right? I used to think this when I was a child. I didn't understand.
You talking about dirt roads? Then yes.
I didn't understand it until I went to Ghana, bro. And my dad showed me, yo, this is the road I used to walk to go to sleep.
That's crazy.
He showed, we driving the road. I'm like, damn, it's kind of far. Driving was far.
So imagine he walking.
He said, yeah, I walked that whole thing. I almost cried, bro. He walked that whole, I said, bro, what? To go to sleep? Can you imagine you dead tired? You gotta walk like 4 miles to go to your friend's house to get a bed to sleep in because you don't have enough space in your crib.
Facts.
And I'm gonna be in the US and have all this opportunity and not build on the foundation that you've created.
It's crazy.
My dad got here and he was working security jobs. There's no way, I'm not gonna say I'm too good for any job, but there's no way in hell you're gonna catch me working any security job. My dad did that. So that I don't need to do that.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not trying to shun or downplay anybody's job or what they doing.
I get
exactly
but
what
your
you're saying.
parents laid the foundation for you.
Yeah.
They made the sacrifices for you to be here. Whether you agree with what's going on here or not, racism, all these different kind of things. As a man, I feel like when you have complications, you work through it. So either you find a way to make it happen or you find a way to make an excuse.
That's why it hurts them so much.
Say that again.
I'm gonna keep it a stat.
Say it again.
You either find a way to make it happen or you find a way to make an excuse. Either way, you gotta find a way to do one of them.
No, that's a fact.
Either or. A or B.
It's all about perspective.
That's why our parents,
Go ahead,
we don't come out the way they envision. It hurts them.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? Because they knew they did that.
Right.
They made those sacrifices. So it's like, I'm not trying to do what you did. You know
Bro.
what I mean? Like, I'm on a whole different trajectory, bro. Nobody in my family got no business, bro. You crazy? Oh, that's a whole nother
LLC
what? What does that mean? Lime lice? What is that? Lime lice color?
What does that mean? Will you put that in the perspective like that? First, bro, have assets, bro. First,
Bro.
buy stock.
All they know is 401k or 403b. They
And not even that.
Bro.
Not even that, bro.
They don't know that much.
You right.
But
You dead right.
bro,
I'm saying though, all they know is pension, and that's not even given in jobs these days. You know
Not
what I'm
even
saying?
that, bro. So you get what, like, when I think about all these things, it's like, I can't.
No.
When y'all talk to me about like work ethic and stuff, it's like, bro, I can't
Can't
not, there's no way I can't work.
No.
Mhm.
There's no way I can't work.
And I saw you do it.
You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's
So,
no way I
You
can't.
want me to slow down because
Bro, when mom called me, she'd be like, what you doing, working? I'm like, yeah, mom, what's
how
up?
you know? How you know?
What are you doing, working?
Moms.
I'm like,
Yeah.
absolutely, mom, what's
bro.
up? But I got time, like, what's up? That's
Yeah.
my mom.
Right.
But it's crazy, bro. Like, even, yo, this is what I want to talk to y'all earlier about. Man, I'm going on a rant. I need to give y'all opportunity to speak, but give me a second, bro. I
that's
just,
cool, bro.
when I came here, right, you know, we normally record in the living room. I saw what the living room looked like right now. It's looking like construction zone in there, right? So I'm like, all right, we got to make it work in the basement. But I had never set up in the basement before. So it's hard. Like, if you never set up a podcast, like set up with like furniture, so I'm not talking about just the camera. It's difficult to make it look like a space. I don't care how good your camera look. If you just got a person in a white background, that's boring. And that's not how we do stuff. So I got to figure out how to make the space. On top of that, the basement this area was filthy, bro. Not here specifically, but the entire basement is filthy. You're going to have guests over. What's the first thing that people that took a long commute want to do when they come into the space? What's the first thing they want to do?
Take all showers, do
Right.
everything.
Use the bathroom. What you think? You think the bathroom was in usable shape? No, bro.
You had to go clean.
Bro, bathroom toilet seat hanging, stains in the toilet seat.
You had to fix it.
I'm telling you, there's dry water in the shower, stains on the damn kitchen, and I'm being real with everybody. The reason why I'm being real like this is because I want people to understand we don't just pop these cameras on and just go about our day. No, I spent probably 5-6 hours down here cleaning up and setting up the studio, basically, right? I'm talking about cleaning up a dirty bathroom that I wasn't even in, that I didn't dirty.
Hello.
Screwing on a toilet seat that I haven't sat in.
Fixing up things that
Cleaning a shower
You shouldn't even have to.
that I haven't been in at all. And when people talk about like they want to be successful and they want to do stuff,
Yeah.
are you willing to clean up somebody else's shit? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to spend 5-6 hours after a flight? You tired. I already told you I got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Are you willing to spend 5-6 hours after a flight setting up a studio
No.
and cleaning up somebody else's shit in the bathroom?
People don't understand that, bro. Like, listen, when you got people coming to your house, yo, there's no reason why you shouldn't clean the house before people coming over.
Yeah.
You shouldn't even be okay with people coming over if the house not clean.
Exactly.
Bro, you know how annoying that is for me?
Exactly. I feel ashamed.
Yo, nobody should be entering a home
Indeed.
and it looked like a tornado hit here.
Bro,
Thanks.
and when people walk through that living room, I say the first two things I say is, yo, pardon the... I don't need nobody going back.
I say, yo, this ain't even me.
I ain't expecting a black man. That living room looking great. Yo, pardon their parents. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not gonna have y'all walk through the side and not see the living room and be in the cold. So y'all gonna walk through the living room. Y'all gonna see that this is a process that we got going on here. But pardon their parents. When we get down here, we good. But that living room, hey,
Yeah,
there's so much I can do,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
But down here, we good. This is where we at. You feel me? So you ain't gotta really worry about the living room, but for more than 15 seconds anyway. All you doing is walking through it. But nah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. When I was in college, bro, I used to make sure like my spot was, if I was gonna have a shorty over, all I would need was 5 minutes to really just maybe wipe down the sink or you know what I'm saying? Like
Because that's your space.
my space was already taken. Yeah.
It's your space. But the problem that comes, and this is a house with multiple people living.
Exactly. That's
When
true.
you got to deal with, because you know how you are.
Yeah.
You know, like you like stuff to be a certain.
In order. Right.
The other person might not be the same way.
Right.
So that's two conflicting like
And
situations.
it
right
might,
here.
and it might not even be that they might not be the same way. They just don't have time to do that thing before he even got here.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
I would love.
I think he was leading somewhere else, though.
No, go. Say what you're saying.
Nah, I'm saying like, yo, let's.
I think he's leading somewhere else. Yeah, but don't be out here.
People coming to this crib, bro. Listen, I don't give a damn what the hell you think this should be. People coming to the crib, the house need to be
The
clean.
house needs to be clean.
matter what's-
100%.
Hey, no matter what's going on.
100%.
It don't matter. Like, you know, I don't know. People be thinking like, yo, I don't care what people think. You need to start caring
I care.
when it comes to your household.
Especially if it's a first impression.
Yeah, like
Absolutely, that's important,
that's
bro.
important.
Yeah.
They use the bathroom, bro. And because you know how you feel when you go to somebody's bathroom, like, what the fuck is that?
Bro, I'm telling you,
Exactly.
I never like, yeah, and y'all, oh,
Exactly.
dog.
Exactly.
Is that a shit stain in the toilet?
Bro, don't let that.
Is that a black ring around the tub?
Exactly.
I've realized as I've gotten older, I don't know if it's because like I'm getting older and whatever, and other things excite me right now.
Unclean house.
I like mops.
Bruh.
I'm looking for an electric mop that can steam the floor.
Bruh.
I like Febreze.
I like the machine that you put the little scrub thing on
Yep.
to brush the tub.
Yeah.
I be bruh.
We got one of those in the head.
Y'all got one of them.
Bruh.
I said, yo,
Scrubs.
I need it to be clean, bro. I need the floor to look clean.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? The dish
That's
be
it.
washed.
Yeah, nah.
Is that Clorox wipes on sale? Let me get that.
That's
Bro,
one
I agree
thing.
with you.
That's one thing I praise my mother for, bro. She did not play when it came on to cleaning, bro.
Yeah.
So I got that shit ingrained in me. Nigga.
Yo,
A
facts.
fucking inch of salt drop on the floor, nigga. I'm ready to sweep. Bruh. Hold on, G. Shit. Bro, listen, bro. Listen.
Nah, I'm telling
I'm
you,
ready, bro.
I'm
It's
telling
bad, bro. It's
Yo,
really bad.
You know, when I talk to Naima, right? Like she'd be like, "Yo, one of the things I love is that you're not dirty." I'm like, "Babe, like what you?" But you know what's crazy though? I get it though, because in college, yo, I would go to Bro, in college, you really learn a lot about people, bro. That's why I hated rooming and dorming with people, bro.
Yeah,
As soon as I could get out and live in my own apartment, I don't care what it costs. I needed that peace of mind because I would come into a space and half the spot that's mine is clean.
Other side.
The other side and anything that's shared, dirty.
That's
That's before and after.
Bro, it basically looked like a before and after photo. It's like, bro, and it's like you can't, when you in college, everybody think they know so much and you really can't do much when you have a dirty roommate.
You know what? You know what's a big problem too? When you got to share space with a person and it's just you trying to do everything to make sure everything is
And they messing the shit up.
and they still doing the same. It's like you feel defeated afterwards, yo. It's like, yo, why bother?
So it's like you just cleared the dust mites and they just throwing it.
Yo,
Bro, I used to be so tight. I'm like, bro, why are your clothes on the floor?
That's one thing I hate, bro. As a man, nigga, you got a hamper, just put it in the hamper, bro.
I feel like
or if it's something you know you're gonna wear again, put it up.
Space is a direct reflection of what your mental state looks like.
Let him cook in that and remember your thought, bro. Go ahead, cook. Yeah.
If it's always messy in your space and you're okay with that, yo, your mind is in chaos, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you're comfortable like this.
Mm-hmm.
When you clean a space, bro, you can feel it's like, whoa, it's lifted. Like it feels lighter in there.
Man.
When you go into a dirty space, bro, it's like damn, the air thick in this motherfucker.
Not even the air, just the presence.
It's not the presence, it's the energy.
The energy. There we go.
There's a lot of like unresolved or like muddy, like
It's demon
monkey.
There was a time where, right, that at the time I just gave up on cleaning.
Okay.
And randomly I wasn't like conscious of it, but I can tell, I'm like, bro, like, what am I doing? So I spoke to her about it. She was like, I need you to think of your room as your mind. When your mind is cluttered, when you don't have no guidance, when you're going through a lot, look at your room. If your room not clean, your mind is not clean. I need you to look at your room as your mind and clean your room. When you clean your room, you have more clarity to understand what's going through in your
so
mind.
light.
And when she told me that, anytime I drop something, I don't care if I'm about to go leave for work. I'm cleaning the shit out of my room before I go.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm a little bit late for work.
Yeah.
The pillow's not right. So I gotta fix this before I go. I can't come back.
Feel better, bro.
Can't come back after a long hour shift. And then like, damn, I got no space on my bed.
Yeah.
Or I got no space to walk.
I don't even like leaving dishes in the sink.
Bro, I'm telling you.
So I'm cooking and I'm cleaning while I'm cooking.
Now you got to, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. People that don't clean, I'll be like, I
want to do all of this after I'm done.
I'm trying not to judge, but it's like, bro, I was raised on when you cook, you clean at the same time, bro.
Clean your food.
You should
Clean your food before you cook.
you should never have to spend more, in my opinion, should never have to spend more than like 15, 30 minutes cleaning your space. Like if you're doing a clean, because it should already be in a state where it's already basically clean anyway. Like anywhere I go, it don't matter if it's a hotel, here, Naima's parents' crib. It don't matter where I go. If I'm leaving the spot, the spot is gonna be better kept than it was when I came in there.
Facts.
The bed's gonna be made, things are gonna be put away. I'm not coming back into a space that looks crazy.
Bro.
Right? And then if I need to do a deep clean, right, which is what Naima
It's gonna take
calls
a
it,
little bit more
it'll
longer.
take a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but it still shouldn't take as much time as it would take to clean like an unorganized or dirty room.
That means you ain't cleaning them.
Yeah, you ain't really cleaning a minute, bro. And it's like some people, I just don't understand. Like they're so used to chaos that when they see cleanliness, they think something's wrong. We had a family member come into our crib one time and the kitchen was clean. And they're like, oh, y'all don't be cooking.
What?
I said, what? The kitchen shouldn't look like you cooked in it.
Exactly.
Whenever I cook, the kitchen looks brand new.
Bro, that's not
Why?
crazy.
Because I cook and then I cleaned.
Bro, that's like going into the bathroom and it's clean. You'd be like, y'all don't be shitting.
Exactly. Exactly that.
What the hell? I'm supposed to leave some shit in here?
Exactly. No, that's exactly it. Yo, why y'all bathroom look like this? Y'all using this shit like that? Y'all don't be using y'all bathroom like that?
Bro.
I don't think y'all should.
Yo, and you know what's crazy? She thought she was cooking with that. But that said a lot more about her than it said about us. The spot not supposed to look dirty when you use it. It's supposed to actually look cleaner because you're supposed to clean it after you use it.
That's why you gotta have people with like, you gotta have a similar mindset in the same space, bro. Because when it's too different, bro, who knows what it's gonna look like?
Oh, y'all don't be cooking in here. That would have threw me off,
bro. I said, yo, I ain't even say nothing, bro. I was just like, all right,
I guess so.
Sure, I'd be like,
don't go figure.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, sure, I guess we don't. But in that moment, Naeem and I talked about it after. I said, yo, I can only imagine what her kitchen looked like.
Son, they got guests with 4 legs.
Right, yeah.
Because, bro, I'm not trying to leave food around.
When I walk in some people's spaces, bro, thanks to my therapist, bro, I'll just be literally asking them after, not even judging the room, how you doing mentally? Like, I don't even, because it's like, sometimes, like, it's literally linked to depression.
It is.
So it's like, when I see that, and I go to my, friend's house or anybody random house, and I don't even know you, I'm like, how you doing mentally?
Yeah.
If you don't mind, can you give me the long version of that? Instead of like, oh, I'm good or stuff like that. And then once they start breaking that shit down, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can understand why this is this. Because of that.
And
so
I have a post where I talked about like one of the signs that somebody could be depressed is like their space is like cluttered and it's not clean and all these different kind of things, like dishes in the sink just piled up and like garbage may not be taken out and like clothes all over the place that not been folded. I think it's important that we pay attention to that and we don't just push it off as, oh, this person is just like, they're just unorganized or they're
just
dirty.
dirty.
Yeah. They're just dirty. That's just how they are. No, that person might actually be depressed.
Yeah.
They might actually be dealing with depression to the point where it's like they don't have the capacity to even think about cleaning their space.
Shit.
Which is important. Bro, you spend the most time, when you think about it, you actually spend the most time of your life in your room or in your home.
That's a fact.
So if you're not even cleaning that,
something's wrong.
Something has to be wrong. We can't just say this person is dirty and just chalk it up at that. I really think that, and people are going to think I'm joking when I say, I really think that's a mental illness, bro.
It is.
Like it has to be some type of mental illness to be in a space that you spend the most time in your life and you don't feel inclined to keep it clean or tidy or anything like that.
That was me, bro.
There's a girl on IG. She be going around people's cribs.
Yeah.
You seen that shit, right?
Is she in New York? She's in New York. Yeah, I've seen that. She be mad. Bro, I was like, yo.
Nigga, the crib got, it's just like piles and piles and not even clothes. It's just like food wrappers. It's like that's a serious sign of depression, bro.
People that just don't know how to let go of stuff. They just keep.
They got it all over the room, surrounding the bed and all that.
Keeping stuff is another thing.
People that be hoarding stuff they ain't even using.
I could have.
And they'll justify it by saying like, yeah, when I bought this, this remind me of this, that. No, like sometimes you got to get rid of that, bro.
And my thing is like when I used to be an EMT and I used to drop people off, that used to terrify me, man. Like.
He said that. He said it, man.
Yo, Dimitri's terrible. So.
Not the joke, bro.
I said something terrifying and Dimitri started laughing at me.
Bro, I'm just picturing walking somebody's house like, just, bro.
Nah, on the real, bro. Like, cause there was this guy and I don't remember his name, but I'll never forget him.
Y'all are terrible.
Nah,
go ahead, David. Go ahead. Cook. My bad.
When I asked him about, because I'm back there, my partner would drive. You have the other person asking questions about, medical stuff, things of that nature. But I was just asking him about mental stuff, bro. Like, he's like, hold on to friends, He was like, I'm the only one by myself. I'm like, by yourself? I'm trying to figure out, because on this thing it says, you're not. So I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? I got no friends, stay close to friends. I haven't spoken to my family in years, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. I go to his crib. Outside looks nice. When I mean nice, bro. We was in Staten Island. I don't know what part of Staten Island was in. And that mansion looked nice from outside. Okay. I go inside, bro. Sad.
It's a ghost town.
Sad. Mail everywhere. CD players, everything everywhere. And I'm like, what the hell? And it broke me because I'm like, bro, like.
What's that saying?
You would be living in filth, bro.
And I'm walking around. It's just, I say his mental illness was everywhere in the house. Let's just say it like that, not to like, I don't know if he ever gonna watch this. I don't know if he, you know what I mean? But his mental illness was everywhere, bro.
Son got the outside.
Garbage
Good.
bags everywhere. And I'm like, yo, I asked him where his room at. Why was rolling him in there? Where's your room? He said, you're in it. I said, this is your room?
When do we get here?
You're in it is crazy.
He had so much space, bro.
Nah, he ain't want nobody getting cold. That's why the outside look good. Everything's all right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, some of these houses, bro,
Bruh.
they look great from the outside, bro.
And the thing is, what blew my mind is that he's not the only one or the only patient that I had and their house was like that.
Yeah.
And from that day forward, I will literally like speak to all of them, bro. All the life lessons, anything, any advice. I'm like, yo, any advice you will ever give your son? If you ever had a son? Or any advice you will give a young man that's looking to be better? Health-wise, anything. And I've been through, and I've seen everything, bro. Everything, bro. And the reason why his story broke mine is because he told me, like, he's like, yo, I had it all. I had it all. He was like, you could see from the outside and 2 cars I got, I had it all. And I lost it.
How?
He lost it because he wasn't mentally right in the head. He said he pushed everybody away because he was blinded by the money.
Sound like a lot of men.
He was blinded by the money. He said he had it all. He had an amazing wife, everything. And he drove all of them away because they didn't understand that to him, he was like, yo, the money was the reason why this is happening and stuff like that. Whole time what he told me was like, it wasn't the money. It was God that showed me that way. And I got blinded by the money. And then that's what he said. That's why all the garbage in my house is piled up like this. Because my mind wasn't there to see the beauty of it. Outside is perfect, but the inside is what you got to pay attention to. And when he told me that, it gave me chills, bro. That gave me chills, bro. And I couldn't stay because I had another patient to go pick up. But that gave me chills. That was the last line he told me, bro. And I'm like, no way. And then when I closed that door and I looked, the last thing I looked at his whole house, I'm like, bro.
There's a piece of garbage flying out.
No. But it's like, I'm like, bro, like he's right. Someone can look beautiful, bro. But if they ain't got no type of substance on the inside, bro, what are we doing for real?
That's a real damn. Freaking parable there.
That like I learned.
I just hit us with a real like Bible type story.
It sucks, bro.
Nah, that's real though, bro. That's really real, bro. I think a lot of times we get caught up on the external, especially for us as men. I've talked about this, and I'm gonna continue to say this, bro, because not only do we get caught up in the external with our partners, but we also get caught up in the external for ourselves. Like it's like, all right, as long as I have money and like some people stop at money, some people with money and how I look, and that's really it. Physical and financial and physical, right? When it comes to our partners, it's really just physical. How do you look? We don't care about nothing else that's internal to them. The other dimensions of their wellness, their emotional wellness, their mental wellness, their spiritual wellness, social. We don't care about any of that. We just like, yo, physically, you look good. Financially, I got the bread. Let's make it happen. Why do you think so many celebrity marriages don't work out? They don't care nothing about you healing or nothing. We both got money, right? And you look good. The world says we good together, so let's just make this work. Shut up.
That's how the dysfunction that you was talking about gets created.
That's how it gets created, because nobody's stopping to sit and think about, yo, this just didn't work for them, this didn't work for them, this didn't work for that person. Maybe I should stop and think and look and listen and try and understand why these things didn't work for them, instead of thinking that I could just do the same thing and it's gonna work for me. I've never been the person to think that I'm more special than somebody else that's in the circumstance. I've always put myself in a position where I always think like, that could be me. How could it be me? So I can make sure that that's never me.
And that's why analyzing or sometimes overanalyzing is not that bad.
It's not. And it's not even about overanalyzing. It's just about critical thinking. Not groupthink, because a lot of times we get caught up in groupthink. I see a lot of groupthink on social media. That's why one person says something, and now everybody is repeating the same thing. Idiots. I'm sorry, for lack of better words, you're an idiot. If one person can say something and that becomes your truth, you have no mind of your own, bro.
That's a fact.
And that's why I cut my
You have no mind of your own. That's why I always tell people, challenge me. Don't believe me. I don't care.
And this is why.
Don't believe me.
I love this, because it's like, hey, do you think so? No.
Yeah.
Hey, no. All right, then all right, let me think.
Yeah.
Let me come back.
Mhm.
I got 3 different opinions. Let me go back. Maybe let me add God in there too.
That's why.
For
Give
sure.
me a sign or something.
For sure.
Wake up. Well, I guess it's really a no.
Or it could be, nah, I don't agree with them.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Because I see a lot of stuff on social media where it's like, nah, I don't agree with that. But then in the comments, like, nah, this makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth with people because at the end of the day, y'all believe what y'all believe. But just because a bunch of people believe it doesn't mean that I have to believe it. Just because a bunch of people are resonating with something doesn't mean that I have to resonate with it. Right. Just because a bunch of people say something is true doesn't make it true for me in my reality. You cannot get me to believe that black women don't love me. I don't care how much I see black women say they hate black men on social media or black men ain't shit or that they cheat on black men. You cannot get me to believe black women don't love me and care about me. You know why? Because in my real life, I got a mom that loves me. I got Naima's mom that loves me. I got a therapist that cared about me. I got a CPA that be doing stuff for the business. You know what I'm saying? I got Naima that love me. You can't get me to believe black women don't love me. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to fall for that group thing. You got to critically think and look at your real life. And I think it's important.
They're going to be just starting arguments, random arguments in Naima, like, you don't love me like this.
Yeah, like, I saw this on social media. Do you believe this? Like,
I got 5 Grammys right now.
Nah, I'm telling you, bro. You cannot get me to believe what everybody else believes on social media because I've been taught to critically think for myself. And that's one of the things, one of the biggest things that I think we don't get taught. Because they know if people learn how to critically think,
it's over.
It's a problem. You can't control the masses anymore when people start critically thinking. Because people gonna be like,
wait a minute.
Hold on. Let me pause before I make a decision. I'm thinking about this. I'm hearing this. I'm also seeing this. I also have this going on around me. I don't know if I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
You know who the dangerous people are? The people that think like the group, or like they think for themselves, critically think for themselves, and then they still go with what the group said because they don't want to feel like an outsider or a pariah. So they like,
let me tell you. Now even now we at the career fair. So the way they set it up is they had the students in the gym and they was all on the bleachers. Yeah, exactly. And we all had individual tables for all of our careers, right? So I'm sitting. So there's one woman, there's Naima, then there's me. We all at individual tables and we're facing the gym with bleachers and with students on it, right? They introduced like, oh, this is the career fair. These are the professionals. We're going to have them introduce themselves. The first woman, she's sitting down. Mm-hmm. She gets the mic. She introduces herself while sitting down, right? Naima gets the mic. What do you think she does?
Stands up.
She stands up.
She's a boss.
Naima stands up. She introduces herself standing up. She automatically commands the room. Changes the whole energy of the room. Immediately. When I saw her stand up, I said, oh shit.
Yo, I'm not gonna let you know, this gave me hype.
Bro.
I know Naima and I'm like, yo, you're gonna listen.
She's not sitting down, bro. She's not gonna sit down.
She stood up. What you think? Stand up. I said, hell yeah, I'm find my way. Hell yeah.
You said Naima?
I said, give me that damn mic. Bro, here's the thing, right? Now, because Naima set that precedent,
everybody else stood
up. I promise you, I would bet all the money in my bank account right now. If she didn't stand up, there was nobody else that was going to do that, bro.
That's a fact.
And I'm saying all that to say that sometimes even what somebody is doing, and just because somebody's doing something in front of you, doesn't mean you got to follow what they doing.
Oh. And I'm pretty sure after y'all stood up, she was like, damn, I should have stood up.
Exactly. And then the next,
I should have stood up.
Look at this. Look at how the story go again, right? We had rounds of doing this.
Oh, shit.
What you think happened the next round?
She stood up this time.
Exactly. Right?
Follow
so I'm saying all that to say, bro, not only do you not have to follow what somebody's doing before you, but also when you're in a space, you command that space and you do what you feel called to do. Mm-hmm. Not what you see what everybody else do. You do what you feel called to do. That's why I don't give a damn if people are like, oh, you're not a therapist and you're not a life coach and
whatever.
I don't care.
Whatever.
I don't care. I'm doing what I feel called to do. You do what you feel called to do. Don't worry about me. We good over here. Right. You do what you feel called to do. Mm-hmm. Right? Because it's important for you to show up as your authentic self, not what the world is telling you to show up as. That's why I don't listen to all these people on social media like, oh, black men's supposed to be doing this, and this guy's supposed to be doing it, and these men are too feminine, they sassy. I don't give a damn. I'm going to cry if I want to cry.
Damn right.
You got a problem with that? That's on you. I don't care. I really don't care. If that makes me less of a man in your eyes, I don't give a damn. Who the hell are you? You ain't God.
Man,
You ain't God.
It's a man with a father.
do what
You ain't God.
made you to do, bro.
You a human just like me, bro. We bleed the same way. You ain't better than me in no way, shape, or form, bro.
Exactly.
That's why when I get in these spaces and I see these people, I'm not idolizing anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been that way. Even from before I had a platform, I'm not idolizing anybody. We all human beings on this earth. And that's why I tell people, don't idolize me. When you see me, don't say I built this platform. Don't do that. God built this, not me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a vessel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a man.
That's a fact.
All glory and praise goes to God. Don't forget that. Because the moment you forget that, bro,
You stuck.
you clicked. I was reading the Bible, bro. I was reading the verse. I can't remember the verse for the life of me right now. It's okay though, because I remember the message. The message was God rescued the people from Israel, right? But still after that, I don't want to say not killed, but he still left some of them in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he rescued people from Israel.
Mm-hmm.
He rescued all the people of Israel. But when they weren't doing what they're supposed to be doing,
That's the book of Matthew.
I don't know if it's the book of Matthew. It's a different, it may be Jude.
Maybe. Okay.
He rescued the people from Israel. Some of them was still on some BS.
Mm-hmm.
And so they still face punishment, right? Where he either wasn't covering them or whatever the case may be. Saying all that to say, bro, the moment that I believe that I'm bigger than God,
You're in trouble.
we out of here.
You're in trouble.
The moment that I start thinking that, oh yeah, I built this platform and I just know how to do all this stuff because it's me and I'm just so diligent and I just work so hard and this is all me and I'm great and we out of here.
Might be like that man with the garbage bags.
We are out of, I'm telling you,
Hey.
this whole spot up in here,
Hey.
have a Twinkie from last year. The rappers is gonna be sitting on the corner.
Bruh.
I'm telling you, bro, I'm not playing around with anything God has created, bro.
Nope.
That's why every chance I get, I let people know, do not idolize me. I'm no one to be idolized. I'm a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think you're going to come up to me and I'm going to be on some, oh, I'm better than you. I'm not.
Mm-mm.
When people see me, I be chilling, bro. They're like, yo, you run this. I be like, yo, bro, I'm just chilling, bro. I'm just be chilling, bro.
They're not expecting that.
I just be chilling.
all
They expect me to be
celebrities,
like,
famous. Yeah.
so like caught up with yourself. Like, damn, you should feel like you better. I don't feel like I'm better than nobody. I don't feel like I'm better than anybody, bro. Because I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not, bro. I was talking to Kira. I did an interview with Kira. Kira's a dope poet. Kira had a period of her life where she was doing a lot of content where she was bashing men. And I remember that, right? Because I remember I found her initially because of that, because I had a friend that used to share a lot of her stuff. And I remember seeing her content and I was like, damn, like, this woman really be wilding.
Mm-hmm.
But I was never like, yo, I hate this woman. Like, I'm mad at her or anything like that. Whenever I see content I don't like, I critically think, where could this be coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you believe the things that you believe? Why are you saying the things you say? Is this because you want to make money? Because you're trying to just influence a bunch of people and you know this is getting a bunch of views? Or do you truly believe what it is that you're saying? And if you truly believe what you're saying, why? Right? So I always was coming from a why perspective.
Right.
Eventually, she started going through her healing journey. Right, we share one of her poems, one of her pieces of work on our story on our platform. Kind of went viral a little bit, so we got her in to do the episode. And I was talking to her. I was like, "Yo," I told her like, "Yo, I remember when you used to post like that." I was like, "Yo, it's kind of wild, right?" Mm-hmm. But she was like, "I'm glad you didn't write me off." I said, "Nah, who am I to write you off?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I can't write you off. I got my own stuff I got going on.
Right.
I'm not perfect.
Right.
I done did my own dirt." I said, I'm glad you got to the point where you got to your healing journey so that we could be able to have this conversation. Because I couldn't have that conversation with Kira that was doing the stuff 10 years ago or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been a productive conversation. But now people can really see from your journey and your growth. So I think it's important for us to understand, bro, like, yo, one, none of us are God.
Mm-hmm.
You're not better than nobody.
Not in the program.
You have to understand that everything that you have right now, whether you think is big or small, it don't matter how you feel about it. It's all by the grace and mercy.
I told David that.
Oh God.
Oh God.
I told David that.
We have
Go ahead,
conversations like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
That remind me of what you were saying just now. like when somebody's doing something wrong, and like I'll give them like my perspective on it, like give them advice or whatever, or I bring up the Bible, and then I kind of notice with certain people, bro. They'll kind of take me talking about like the Bible and everything as if like I'm better than them, right? And it's like I really have to sit and think sometimes. I'm not in a position to tell you, like, you know,
exactly
what you're doing. You know, I'm not better. Like I said, I'm not better than nobody. But if I'm seeing that you're doing something wrong, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm just gonna let you know, like, yo, this is what it is, right? I'm gonna tell you, like, you know, like this is probably not a good idea, but you know, do what you want.
Yeah.
And then people are kind of looking at me like, because I'm bringing up scripture or like I'm bringing up the Bible or talking about God. Do you think you're better than me? Because like, you know, you be talking to God.
that just shows where they mind at.
Oh, you know scriptures? And I'm like, yo, me of all people, I'm not a pastor, bro. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not Jesus.
Just a messenger.
I'm not perfect. I be doing stuff all the time.
Yeah,
But I'm also not trying to pretend to be something that I'm not.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm literally telling you, like, yo, like, you know, people that be like, yo, God knows my heart. Do you know how dangerous that statement is every single time I hear it? Yo, God knows my heart. Do you also know that you are completely aware that what you're doing is wrong?
Exactly.
And you're still going through with it.
Exactly. Yeah, I was about to
And you think that you saying God knows my heart
Exactly.
is going to save you from something.
This gives them a free pass, quote unquote.
Bro.
They mind that, yo, God.
That's
just
actually even worse than if you just didn't
like,
know.
He will forgive you if you did not know.
Yeah, bro.
And then you did it. And if you know, and you still go ahead and do it, it's like, yo, it's just a slap in the face. Like, oh yeah, I know.
There's literally a verse in the Bible that says it's better to not know than to know and still sin or something like that.
Yeah.
I need to read the Bible more because I'm
That's
butchering these
bro.
verses. But that's a verse. I've read that before.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. And just to piggyback what he's saying, because this year, like, you know how people say New Year's, that's not me. Like, one thing that I have for myself is one discipline. I don't want to say it as a goal, because sometimes when you set a goal, you fail. I have a discipline when it comes to giving people advice, because people just don't listen to me. And I have to accept that. So when people tell me about what they're going through in life, and I do the same thing because I'm trying to get into the space of being closer to God, getting my relationship better with Him. And when I tell them a certain thing, and it just click, like it just like I'm not too good with the Bible, but a verse, and a voice would go through my head very quickly. And I would tell them like, hey, I don't think you should be doing this. I think you should be trying your best to do it this way, or going in a different lane, or whatever it is. Whatever God put on my heart to tell you, I'll just let it out. I don't remember it sometimes, and it'd be scary that I don't remember it sometimes, because I know it's not me speaking, right? And then like, oh, well, nah, I'm not gonna. And then that's when I catch myself. I'm like, you know what? I'm not repeating myself. I can't repeat myself, first of all, because that's not my words. That's flowing through me right now. I'm not gonna repeat myself. So then I would tell them, don't come to me back to me about the same problems. That's a headache. Because I already told you once, I can't do it again. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, when people look at you differently, when you speak to, you know, about the verse and you go to the Bible for direction and stuff like that, sometimes I just don't even fight back. I'm like, all right, hey, I tried my best.
Yeah, you just may not be in that space.
It's not time.
Yeah.
The thing is,
It's not time.
I give advice without expecting anything to change.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna feel a way if you don't want to listen to me. That's on you. You know what I'm saying, dude? I need to give you that space to fail freely.
Okay.
It's only gonna bother me if I tell you something and you don't want to listen to it. That's up to you. You got to be able to make that choice yourself. It's just like you have your brother, or like you have a sibling or whatever, and they come to you advice for everything, and then they still end up doing
what they was gonna do.
Yeah, they was gonna do it anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But I'm not gonna like shut you down. Like, you know, I'm gonna, you know, I'll be here when you get back.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking from experience.
Exactly.
And, you know, that's, you know, the wisdom that I've learned from like my past experiences. So if I'm telling you something, it's because you already did this.
Exactly.
So if you want to go, do whatever you want to do anyway. I'll just be like, yo, like I said, you do what you want. This is what it is, but yo, do what you want.
How the saying go? Who don't hear shall feel.
Yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, you know what I learned in my life too, bro? Because, yeah, bro. I was talking tonight. It was, I just be thinking, there's so much stuff that's coming up for me right now, bro. And it's so interesting because it's like I had a whole script written out. God is like, nah, I need to just talk freely.
Yeah.
So, I've realized in my life, bro, that you cannot be more committed to somebody's success than they are themselves. And that was a hard lesson for me, bro. I grew up where my parents would always be like, you're doing so well. Go and talk to your brother about this. And I go and talk to him, and it's like, it's in one ear, out the other.
It's a waste of time.
Then they would do the same thing. Maybe you can reach him this way. If you would talk to him, he listens to you. Go and talk to him. And I would go talk to him, and it would not pan out. And I would get frustrated because it's like, my parents are telling me to do one thing. I'm trying my hardest to help my brother. Why doesn't he just listen?
Bro.
I would get so frustrated to the point where me and my brother couldn't even talk because I'm like, yo, I can't talk to this man because I'm pissed. Why don't you listen? And then I realized, I realized like, yo, bro, you're more invested in his success than he is. And that's what's driving you to be so upset. So I had to let go. I'm like, yo, bro. I had to let go. I had to tell myself, and I know this sounds horrible, bro. It's going to sound terrible. It's really going to sound terrible.
It's not.
I had to tell myself, bro, if my brother fails to the point where, like, let's say he's homeless or something like that, God forbid, I have to be okay with that reality. I have to be okay with knowing that I've tried my hardest. I've tried to make sure that we push him and point him in the right direction. And that if everything that I've tried doesn't work out, it is not on me to make him successful.
Exactly.
Because I took on, especially when you are when you're the more responsible child in the household, you get a lot of extra responsibility. My therapist told me this. She's like, you're the third parent. You become the third parent. Why? Because your parents, one, this is the first time parenting. And they just also don't have the capacity and the time, especially when you're coming from a low-income household. So eventually, whatever child proves to be more responsible becomes the third parent.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you end up seeing a lot more than they would.
You end up just having to do a lot more, see a lot more. More is required of you. And so you become like a parent to your sibling in a sense of like, yo, let me get you through these things. But if you have a sibling that's not willing to listen or not willing to implement the things, it can be so frustrating because it's like, yo, bro, why? Why? Then it created this dynamic in my head where it's like, I gotta help people through hardship.
Do you think that goes the same for parents as well?
What you mean?
Vice versa.
Like what?
With the critical thinking, you understanding that all the hardships and generational trauma that you're trying to break, do you eventually become the parent of the parent?
In a sense, kind of. Because there's things that I've helped to parent my parents on.
Okay.
Like, I won't even say parent because that sounds wrong. Like, I not parent my parents on, but like advise my parents on. There's certain things that
advise them.
Yeah, there's certain things that have happened in the past or like happening now where I would, I'll talk to them about stuff. I know they're not dumb, but I just give them a little like, yo, maybe y'all should try it this way, right? Or maybe I know this happened in the past, but I don't think y'all should have handled it that way. I think this is how it was perceived, and this is why these things are. And I know sometimes that's painful for them as parents to hear, like, damn, we didn't handle the situation the right way. But sometimes it's also important for them to hear that so that they can understand the perspective of somebody else that may have been impacted in that situation and why they move the way they move.
Depends on the parents, too, because sometimes people are just stuck in their ways. They don't want to hear anything. That's
That's true.
I'm the parent.
That's true.
I'm the parent. Everything I say goes.
That's true. If you got parents like that, then it's probably a clip. Yeah. But my parents, although they're African and my dad's African and my mom's Caribbean, like they've opened up to the point where they're willing to listen to, yo, we may not have gotten things all the way right. Because they know I've been on my healing journey. They know I've been in therapy and doing what I need to do to get myself right. And so like, and they've consumed some of the podcast episodes, like, so they know, like, okay, these are some of the things that are being discussed and some of the things that's going on. Maybe these are some of the areas in which we may have lacked a little bit of understanding. Cause that's really all it is. It's really just a lack of knowledge. It's a little, it's just ignorance and not knowing that you're ignorant on something until it's presented to you and not knowing what to do. And I got, again, like I said, I always humanize myself to the point where I understand that I'm not someone that could not have been in that same situation as them.
Right.
If I came from Ghana to the United States and I had the same situations as they did, I probably would have made the same choices. I have a head start right now in the sense that I got to go to therapy. I got to walk 3 blocks to school. I had a bedroom that I could sleep in. My dad didn't have that. I had water and a shower and all these different kind of things where I didn't have to worry about these things. Yes, we had struggle. Don't get me wrong. But I had a way better life. Again, it goes back to the foundation, bro.
Yeah.
The foundation was already laid for me. Right?
They already been through it.
Because they had already did what they needed to do to lay that foundation down. So it's like, bro, I can't be upset at, my parents for all these different things that happened because it's like, yo, they did the best they could. So when I think about these situations, it's like I advise them and they're willing to listen. But I always, I try to end those things. When we talk about stuff in the past, I try to end by letting them know like, yo, bro, y'all did the best y'all could. I understand why y'all made the decision y'all made. I'm just trying to let y'all know why that decision may have led to this response from people in the family.
Right.
But don't demonize yourself because you did the best you could in that situation. And honestly, a lot of people probably would have made the same choice.
Yeah.
I think that gets rid of the burden from both people. Like I said, you're giving them the opportunity to fail freely. That then becomes the foundation for their wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like we growing up and your parents would tell you something, you just like, shut up. I don't want to hear this shit, man. And then it's like, they still continue to repeat the same things over and over.
Right.
They didn't give up on repeating the same things. I noticed that, like, with me growing up with my father and, my situation with my pops growing up, it wasn't really the best.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've gotten older, a lot of the things that have been repeated, I remember everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't want to hear it at the time, but it's like, he just, he kept repeating it.
Yeah.
And it's like now, I have a greater appreciation for the person my father was. Now, I have a greater appreciation for the man that my father is because it's just like now, I'm like, yo, if he didn't speak to me the way he spoke to me or taught me the things that he did, I don't know who I'd be right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or even looking at like some of the things as disadvantages or like, I didn't have this or whatever, that also shaped me to want to do those things on my own. Like, it created that independence for me to be the person that I am now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Versus, a parent that tells you whatever. And like, that's just like, you'll figure it out.
Bruh, there's so many one-liners that I have from my mom and my pops.
Shut.
Do y'all have one-liners that they just used to say to y'all?
My father told me this, and I could never forget it. If you fail to prepare, then prepare to fail. And I think about it. I spoke to him about it on his 50th birthday, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a lot of things that I remember from my father growing up. And also I wasn't born here.
Mm-hmm.
So I also get to appreciate a lot of the things from when I was in Jamaica to here because like your father's talking about you had to walk these long dirt roads and I had, my father's side and my mother's side a little different. I've experienced things that my father probably didn't even know about and like vice versa.
Yeah.
I've had to walk those roads.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to go to the river and get clean water and bring it back because, we didn't have, running water.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have electricity. We had candles.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have a bathroom. We had an outhouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I can appreciate where I'm at now because what I came from in Jamaica, growing up like that, this is a huge advancement in my life, bro.
Yeah.
I would have been dead already.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Which is why, like, I moved the way I'm moving. Like, I get so upset with, like, when I see, like, other people, doing stuff a certain way because I'm like, yo, you have no idea what hard work is for real.
Squandering the opportunity, bro. It's hard. It's hard when you come from, it's hard when you're born in the United States. Like, you hear the stories that your parents tell you when you have immigrant parents. But if you've never gone back home, and by home I don't mean your home in the U.S. I mean your home, like where your parents are born, where your parents were born. That's your home. The U.S. is a place you make enough money to go and invest in your home. If you're never going back home, you're not gonna understand. You're not gonna really understand it, bro. I thought I knew it when I was older. I didn't truly understand it until I stepped foot in Ghana, bro. And I'm telling you, I almost cried when this man showed me that drive, bro. The walk that we drove.
That's a daily thing too. That's crazy.
I said, there's no way. In my head, I'm like, there's no way.
I bet he was smiling like,
no, because I didn't even say it. I didn't even say it. He's like, yeah, I used to walk. He's like, I used to walk all the way to there. I said, yo.
Like, man, it seemed like he told the couple like, nah.
Bro,
he was smiling though.
You
couldn't even look at him.
I couldn't even process it, bro. It was so far for you to walk, for you to walk this every day. And it's not just you walking it to go to sleep and then that's it. You gotta walk back in the morning.
So 8 miles.
I don't know how many miles it was, but it was more than 2. Definitely probably more than 3, bro.
My son feet black.
See, that's it.
My son go get a pedicure these days. They like, get the buffer.
You know that thing that they use on the floors? Yo. Nah, for real. I'm telling you, bro.
That's real shit.
I'm telling you, dog. I was like, nah, you can't really understand the opportunity that we have in the U.S. until you go back home, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I can't be out here just moving lax, bro. Nah, bro. We got so much opportunity out here.
Man, that's what I wanted to say, what you were saying before. Like,
go ahead.
It's all about perspective, bro.
Bro, it is.
But you gotta have that mindset where it's like, yo, I know you gotta be self-aware to know, like, yo, I know what my parents went through, so I can't squander this opportunity. A lot of people just be like, oh yeah, my parents, they good. Your parents still killing themselves at the job. And you just over here just chilling. Like,
bro,
they still funding your lifestyle. They still doing, and it's like, how do you even, as a grown adult, how do you even like fathom that?
Bro, I was talking to Naima's pops, right? That's my guy. He watches every episode, bro. That's like my number one supporter, bro.
That's fine.
He watches every episode. He be giving me pointers and stuff. He's the one that told me to buy another camera. He's like, yo, get another camera because when you go to the schools, you need to record the audience. He said, you should have recorded the audience. I said, yeah, you're right, bro. I'm messing up. I was thinking about getting another camera, but once he told me that, I said, all right, yeah, I'm getting it. It's time to get it.
And then I said it in the chat, too.
Yeah, nah, it's true, right? So I'm like, all right, yeah, this is confirmation. It's time, right? So I'm saying all that to say, I was talking to Naima's pops, and I was asking him, because he's always up. Like, he's always up. I'm like, yo, bro, what time you go to sleep? He's like, 3 a.m. I said,
like me.
3. He's retired, by the way. Why? I said, why 3 a.m.? I said, how long you been doing that for? He said, like 30 years. I said, you've been going to sleep at 3 a.m. for 30 years? Listen to this, right? So I said, why are you going to sleep at 3 a.m.? Why you been doing that for so long? I used to work a midnight shift. My body just got used to that. And I've never been able to break that. Why was he working a midnight shift? Why was he doing that?
Taking care of the family.
Come on, bro. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the sacrifices. It's right in front of us for us to see.
Yeah.
The clear sacrifices that have been made for the betterment of the family and the foundation that's being set. And you're gonna squander that?
I want to be so vulnerable right now, bro.
Bro, go ahead. If you don't want to keep it, we could always cut it, bro.
No, you can keep it because it's like, I really appreciate it because it made me think about the time that my dad was telling me that the time he was working at Wonder Bread, the Wonder Bread company in the factory in Brooklyn with his brothers. That was his first job, right? And then he landed a job as a janitor in a college and it wasn't enough. And my mom, you know what I'm saying, she was doing her best to, provide for us and stuff like that. And I didn't like how my mom was so much into my school. Like my mom was parenting, my mother was there. They gave my mother an office. My mom got a job at the school. You get what I'm saying? She was at my school and my sister's school at the same damn time. Don't know how. I don't know how she did it. But by lunchtime, I start acting up. She right there by the door.
She said, shadow closed.
Exactly. Popped up, bro. You hear me? And it's like, it made me really appreciate because my mom, regardless of what the finance that we had, she sacrificed enough to make sure she was in the school and make sure she was in our life, no matter what it is. And I always wondered, and the reason why I want to be so vulnerable right now, because my mom didn't finish.
Didn't finish what?
High school, bro. Like, she had to go get it the hard way, GED. You get what I'm saying? And like, I was so like fixated, like, why she always want me to be so into these books? I don't want to read. I don't read. I mean, I like math, but I don't want to read. She was so into it, and to be vulnerable, because it's like, my mom sacrificed a lot. When I mean a lot, to a point where I didn't even notice that I was poor.
Yeah.
Like, to other kids, like those, what would you call those? Off brands, whatever you want to call them, that I had, like, I still got it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I didn't know how much my mom and my dad was making until I was like, 18, I had to go get my own? And I'm like, you mean to tell me I survived off this? You mean to tell me we was making rent off this? I didn't know this, bro. Yeah. And it's like, okay, they built the foundation, and that's what it made me get so hard into finances, bro, because they don't, like, I kid you not, like, my dad gave me pushback on finances, but they don't know. They had no guidance. And I didn't know. The reason why, this is the part that I want to be vulnerable about. My grandfather died on Christmas, bro. When I was born and I was supposed to go see him, my grandfather died, bro, on Christmas. Christmas Eve or Christmas, one of those. And I always asked my dad if he ever had guidance, and he never really wanted to speak about it. So then I go to my mom, like, I never met Grandpa. Like, do you know him? Your grandfather not even on her birthday. His name not there. No, she was joking. I saw Grandma's name. I said, okay, cool. Clearly, who's the other person? Wasn't even there. And the reason why I want to be vulnerable, because it's like, I believe that both of my parents didn't have the male guidance that they needed in their life. And I feel like, and it's kind of giving me chills, it's like maybe they trauma bonded off that.
Bro, when I think about it too, my dad's dad died early. So he didn't have a dad. I don't even know if my mom ever met her dad. So she didn't have a dad like that.
No.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, they didn't really have father figure. And it goes back again.
It goes right back
to what I said earlier about, like, when I sit and I think about a lot of the dysfunction in my family. There's not enough male presence and leadership. This is why we do what we do with the platform. It's not about saying, like, yo, we coming in and we gonna control everybody. It's not about that. But a man's voice in a family matters, bro. It matters deeply.
I see that every day, bro.
Deeply. I don't care whether you classify yourself as alpha, beta, whatever. I don't care. Your voice matters.
Right.
Deeply, bro. Because there's certain things we think about that women just don't think about.
Bro. And it's not to say they can't.
Not to say that they can't. Yeah. They just don't see it the way we see it. It's not saying they're illogical, because women can reason and have logic and all these different kind of things. But there's experiences that we have, and there's experiences that they have. And we all come to the table with our own experiences, which shape the way we think about things, which shape the way we communicate, and which shapes the decisions in which we make. So if you're missing a whole 50% of that, there's a lot of lapses in your decision making that you're gonna have. Not because you're dumb, not because you're illogical, but because you just don't have that experience.
Yeah, and just to not even just cut you off, like, there was some things in my life, like, I remember we was talking in the group chat, and I was like, I don't have no mom trauma. Like, it's mainly based off my dad, but it's not, and I had to be this age to understand it's not his fault. Some things that I wanted to go to him about, he never had no.
He don't know.
He don't know. Capacity to
anything about
conversation.
Whether it's about finances, sex, how to talk to girls. I couldn't go to him because he
don't know. How is my... I'm sorry to cut you off, brother, but this came to my head right now, bro. How is my African dad from Ghana that was in a village gonna tell me how to navigate American preteen girls?
Hello.
How?
It's a different dynamic.
bro.
How is he gonna tell? And I used to get upset, like, why do my parents talk? He don't know.
You know who taught me?
He don't know.
You know who taught me?
Who?
My uncles, bro. And that was the worst decision because the way I turned out, Lord.
The truth.
Oh, the way I turned out,
That's the truth.
man, my mama stressing. You hear me? What is? You just another one?
Yeah.
Like, bro, no type of. My uncle. Yeah, you supposed to. You know what I mean? You that one, and then after that, you move that to the side. You get the.
Supposed to knock him down.
And it's not to knock them, but it's like if my dad had that substance, right? Mm-hmm. Or that good guidance from his dad, he would have understood how to walk me through it. Rather me going outside to other males about how to do that.
Right.
Or even about anything. Cause it's like my dad also was the one that also worked overnight shift. My mom was was taking care of the bills because my dad was trying to land a job that was going to shift that.
Yeah.
And it took him years.
Same thing.
So it was just like a normal thing. So when people be like, oh, like the man, and my mom held it down because my dad at the time didn't have it. Yeah, they had their issues. They wasn't a perfect couple. But I felt like the issues wasn't them, bro. It wasn't them meshing with, it was the finances that was an issue. You get what I'm saying? And it wasn't his fault. It's none of their faults. My mom she's good with finance. She just figured it out.
Yeah.
My dad didn't have the guidance, so he had to get it out the. I hate that saying, but he had to get it out the mud. You get what I'm saying? But then when he finally got there, the balance was still okay. They still had their issues.
Yeah.
It's still not perfect, but like the finances like really ruined that. You get what I'm saying? So that's why it's like, you know what? So just like you thinking, okay, cool. The finances is one of the dysfunctions of my family. The male leadership is a dysfunction in my family. Trying to figure out how to bring that love back into the house was also a dysfunction as well. Because like I said, like my whole entire life until I was like, what, maybe 27, I haven't heard my mom say I love you. Or my dad. Dead serious.
Wait, I don't say I love you on the phone or nothing?
The whole 27 years, right? Maybe I'm not remembering once or twice, but majority of my time, I heard it from my grandmother first though. Yeah. I ain't know. I was like, and it's gonna sound crazy. It's gonna sound crazy, but I was like, love.
Who?
When she said, she was like, I love you. Huh?
As you never heard it before.
I was like, what?
What that mean?
And then she was ready to slap me. You better say it back. I'm like, I love you too. Right. Like I didn't know what it was. It was a foreign language, bro. It was like a person coming to America from wherever they came from and trying to learn English. I didn't know what that was. Didn't know. Did not know. And I never really asked, and the crazy thing about it, thanks to Mel, but I'm going to ask my parents eventually, why y'all never said it?
Yeah, you should, bro.
But now I do it. Not to cut you off. No, now I do it. When I leave that house or whatever, when I call them, whatever, hey, I love you. I'm not getting on the phone. I don't care if I come get in trouble with my manager. Yeah. I love you.
Yeah.
I love you too. All right, I could take an aggressive. I could do that. I hang it. I bang it.
Sometimes they need to hear that too, though.
They ain't doing that.
Yeah, you know, that's facts.
Sometimes they need to hear that too, though.
And I don't blame them, bro. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have it. So,
bro, I just said this on the podcast. Like I remember I was talking to my dad on the phone one time, similar to your pops, and I said, "I love you." Silence. I'm like, all right.
12 seconds go by.
Come on.
Yeah, I know you heard me.
Come on. Yo, I said I love you. You know, I love you too. I was like, yo, and what I said on the podcast was, yo, sometimes you got to press your parents.
Yeah.
Sometimes you really got to let them know, like, nah, bro, we ain't doing that. We're not about to hang up the phone and I said I love you and you ain't saying it back. Nah, I don't know what you think this is. This not that Ghanaian village, bro.
We gonna say it around here.
This is New York. in the U.S. You wanted to have me out here? You have a New Yorker, bro. Yeah.
That's healed.
Yeah, nah. You decided to have me out here? What's up? I want to hear I love you too. I'm your son. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't make it weird. Nah, so I had to press him one time. I'm like, yo, don't do that, bro. Don't hear me say I love you and then I ain't say it like this because, we probably will still slap bro.
Probably
She still got a little of that Ghanaian village in it. But at the same time, I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, don't do that though, bro. You feel me? I have to make sure I said it again because like, I want to hear that, bro.
Got to.
You gotta press them so
I even do that with my sister. Like,
Oh, you press her?
you gotta start.
no, I don't press. She says it back.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
You like, out of everybody, I love you too. Oh. Only one that doesn't press back. I call my mom. I just do a mad rant. I don't do it all the time. Yeah, I'm at work. She's like, okay, love you. You know I'm not getting off this phone. And then she's like, she take mad long. I'm like, I'll be late. You gonna make me late? She's like, I love you too. But then like, when I text her, she say it back immediately. So it's like, I think my mom have a problem saying it. You get what I'm saying? I don't know what that is, but if I text her, like I noticed the difference.
Bro.
If I text her, she'll say it back. If I ask her to say it out loud, she would not say it.
How easy is it for you to just text them?
Exactly.
It's easy.
So that's why I stopped.
Yeah.
That's easy.
She's like, you don't gotta call me all the time to tell me that. I got you.
I want to hear
I
you.
got you. I got you.
She doesn't want to access that part of her, bro. When she texts it, it doesn't force her to access that. When she hears your voice and she has to actually say it herself, it forces her to actually access that and actually feel that emotion. And sometimes she may not want to feel that, bro. Sometimes she may be in a situation where she's working or whatever the case may be, and she probably feels vulnerable when she says I love you for whatever reason. Maybe she didn't get that enough when she was.
That's why
You feel me? So she's not comfortable with the idea of actually saying I love you to her child because it's like I've never. Are you comfortable with stuff that you've never actually experienced?
No, when grandma, I was conflicted. I'm like, what?
You got a point? Go ahead. What's up?
Do your father and your mother say I love you to each other?
My dad would do it, and my mom would do the still.
There you go.
And then when my dad stops, this is too vulnerable. I don't mind sharing.
Yeah, go ahead.
My mama knows.
What about your parents, Kofi?
Damn. See?
It's a thing, bro.
I'm so glad I brought it up because I was just, and it's the
Movies
crazy
and
about it,
stuff,
like,
bro.
my mom would say it, like, my dad not there. I love your father, but he get on my damn nerves. He get on.
Yeah, you know what? I hear that more than I hear
rather than
her saying I love you.
You know what it might be?
What?
Because, all right, so your mom had to work and basically take care of most of the bills and everything. Your mom is good with money. Your father sucks at it. That might be some hidden resentment that they never had a different conversation about.
Here's the thing, right? I don't even know if it's that because I know they're comfortable with that. They've been doing that so long that they're comfortable with that dynamic.
Bro.
I can even chime in and say, even when my parents were together, I never heard that.
Yo,
I never heard I love you.
Let me tell you
amongst
something.
them.
What's up?
It might be that they're just comfortable with that right now. But trust and believe, bro. When you have to struggle harder than you would if you had like somebody to help you with something, you're gonna feel some type of something behind it, bro. Especially a woman having to do more than what the man is supposed to be doing. It could be like, yo, that's the dynamic right now, and I'm doing this because it's my family and whatever, and I love. But realistically, a woman that has to break their back to do most of the work, and then not to say like it's like a slight to the men or whatever. It's just, yo, like that's a lot of extra work that they have to do. Then rather if they had some help and they didn't have to do as much, there's gonna be some resentment. Especially like, you said that you woke up that morning and she's like, damn, like I really don't want to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if
No, I can understand what you're saying for sure. I'm just saying I don't think that was the main catalyst in why they didn't say I love you to each other.
Not the main.
Yeah, it may attributed to a couple of things or so. You know what I'm saying?
Dessert.
And they had done a little cherry on the top. a little sprinkle on it,
Yeah.
and I gotta do more work.
Exactly. So a little
A
sprinkle.
little sprinkle on the ice cream.
It's a little.
But it's not the cold in the ice cream itself.
Exactly.
I really think,
Exactly.
I really do think they just not comfortable with that, bro. I think they just not used to that.
It's the ice, it's not the
you feel me?
substance.
Yeah, I think they're not used to that, bro. I really think my parents are not used to the idea of like saying I love you out loud. And I think, like I said, we talking about it can come from their childhood. But like for me personally, I know in my relationship and in my family, I want to make sure our children see that.
Yes, bro.
I love when I see families where they got the mom and the dad and the kids, like boy, the girl, they all be together and they hugging, they take the family photos and this and that, and they loving on each other, they kissing each other, public display. Not even public because they in their own home, but like they actually displaying affection in front of the kid. Like kids need to see that. They need to see that mommy and daddy actually love each other. Not only do they love each other, they like each other. They want to be around each other.
You are, you're
Nigga.
A lot of people, parents don't like each other, bro.
You see me pointing.
You see me pointing.
Yo.
See me pointing. Yo.
I ain't have to deal with that, bro.
Bro.
That goes back to why, like, I'm not trying to, like, belittle whatever my parents have, but I truly, like, I'm not going to say 100%, but I say 75% of my heart believe that my parents are together because they trauma bond based off their father figures not being together. And I thank God that that God created me through them, but I truly believe that because it's like there's a lot of things that they did. Well, they didn't do that I see other people do. And I'm like, damn, why these niggas ain't doing this?
Yeah. They probably not real right, you know what I'm saying? Like, they probably like, yeah, you know, we just been rocking for a minute, so it's like, all
My
right.
parents been together since they was in
But that's the thing, though, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. When you with somebody for so long and y'all been
Right.
acting for the way that y'all act,
Right.
trying something
becomes
different,
natural.
it's just a norm. It becomes a norm. So you trying to do something different, they like, hold on, why you doing? Like, where's this coming from?
Yeah.
Right.
Nah, that's a
They
fact, bro.
negate that. They like, what?
That's
Like,
a fact, bro.
My dad trying to give my mama a hug and the kids.
I'm telling you,
Get off
bro.
me.
Yeah.
Touch me.
They negate it, bro. They don't want it.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
Nah, but you know what the thing is? I had to also learn this with my mom, bro. Some maybe this is a Caribbean
Their love
thing.
language is different.
They really don't be liking
They don't like
be
you could
touched like that,
They don't.
bro. I don't think they really like that physical touch. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're just working all the time and it's like they feel annoyed and they just want to have their own space. I don't know what it is. It's not my job to understand why they are the way they are. It's my job to understand that they don't like that, right? And allow them the autonomy to practice whatever they feel comfortable with. So for me, it's like I had to learn with my mom, like, she's not the mom that I'm gonna every day come and hug and kiss. I would love that, bro.
Yeah.
Truly would love that. My inner child would love that to its core. She is not that type of mom. The only time I'm gonna get a hug and maybe a kiss from my mom is if she hasn't seen me in a minute, right? She hasn't seen me in a minute, I'm gonna get that. But if not, boy, get off me.
Bro.
Nah.
What?
Bro. And
I done hit you.
bro.
She literally will grab whatever's close. If I'm hugging my mom, she will grab whatever's closest to
You
her
ain't gotta tell me,
and
bro.
try to stab me with it.
Remote,
Or hit me.
Anything.
book.
You get what I'm
That's what
saying?
anything.
And I've learned that that's how my mom is. It's not on some like, oh, she's not doing enough to grow and she's not healing. No, this is how this woman chooses to be loved. She wants to actually spend time with you and talk to you. She don't want to be hugged.
That's my mom,
Don't touch her.
bro. That's my mom.
That's what I had to learn.
Just sit there and watch TV with her and shut up. Don't interrupt anything. Don't ask no
That's
questions.
their quality
Don't ask
time.
what's
They like
going on.
quality time.
Just watch it.
Yeah.
And she'll be at peace because, like, just to share, like I said, my mom was always into my school. And even the children love my mom. My friends, my middle school friends, that's why to this day, like, all my middle school friends, probably minus a few of them, bro, yo, how's your mom, blah, blah, blah. They'll tell me, like, yo, your mom good. Tell your mom, I said how my mom would smile. But when I was in middle school, they would give my mom hugs, and my mom would push them off. I said, God damn, she do the same shit to me. And
To the kids. Everybody just getting it.
everybody got it. Don't touch me. Don't you dare. Get off me.
Fact, though.
Get off me. Get back in class. What are you doing outside? I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear it. Get back in class. So you get what I'm saying? But now, thanks to Mel saying that, he say I love you to his mom.
Bust that out, bro. I don't get it.
When
bro.
When it's time for me to leave the crib, or it's time for me to just go, or I'm going on vacation or whatever, she'll leave her head over. So I kiss on the forehead. I kept doing that. The first 10 times, I almost got slapped. First 10 times, I almost got slapped. But then it became a norm. And then she'll just... So there was one time I didn't do it. And she called me. It was kind of shock. It was a shocker. I kid you not. It was a shocker. She's like, I'm like slowly cracking that hard shell of her. She was like, you forgot to do something before you left. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh.
Oh, now you want the kiss. Well, maybe I don't want to give it to you anymore.
Get off my phone. I don't want to hear it. Get off my phone. Get off my phone.
You grabbing the norm.
Then took away the supply.
Bro.
Well, I ain't go up with my mother and my father, in the house.
Yeah.
My mom left my father when I was probably 3 or something.
Okay.
So I don't really remember them being together. But my mom is always affectionate and loving.
Okay.
All right. So even when I was younger, I had my own room there, and I'd still go sleep in her room.
Okay.
My mom is a really, really loving person. I think the only thing that I'd probably say about my mom is, because I have a little brother. So I'd feel like I don't regret having to stay with my father because I feel like her overprotectiveness has limited his independence.
You're talking about your brother?
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the house with my pops. So it's just I had to do everything. You know what I'm saying? I had to take trash. I had to learn how to do this. I had to, I had to learn to take care of myself. To a certain extent. She don't let him do nothing. And he's he older now. So it's just I'm pretty sure, I don't even know if he's ever spoken to girls. I don't know what I don't know what he do. But it's just he don't really do nothing. He don't have any life experience. She's just always done everything for him. I understand the loving and nurturing or whatever, but there needs to be a balance, which is why I said it needs to be a man in the house, bro.
Yeah.
That attachment later on becomes a problem. What happens when you got to go out and say you want to date another woman? What are you going to do? You don't know what to do. You don't even know how to be a man. And the problem that I find right now, especially in society, it's a lot of women that are a lot of women have advice on what a man should be, but they don't even have fathers or examples of what a man in a house looks like. They have a lot of advice telling you, this is what a man should do. You don't know what a man should do. What? I don't know. I'm about to violate.
So
Where's your father? Bro,
I'm just shaking my head.
Yo, you don't have no father. You don't have no male figures. It's just a bunch of toxic women in the house that talk crap about men. And now you think this is normal. And you're going to have a son and what are you going to teach him?
Bro.
What you going to teach him?
Son said, you can't tell him how to be a dad. You don't have a dad.
Bro. And then, when you end up being in situations like that, where you end up being with a person that has never had her father in her life, you kind of realize yo, you don't even know how to operate in a household or any kind of situations.
With a man, yeah.
You don't have no structure.
Seen that dynamic.
You don't have no structure in your life. You don't have no, nobody ever told you, look, this isn't okay. You probably shouldn't do this. Or how you should operate as a lady outside. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You don't have none of these examples. So I hear this all the time. Women always talking about what men should be doing. You don't know what a man should be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have a handbook on what that looks like. You're basically looking at, you have this fantasy of what you think men should do based on how you grew up.
All online rhetoric, bro. It's all social media.
Bro, social media has crippled the black family, bro. Has crippled The black fan.
Put that emphasis on.
That's it.
I've been waiting. Bro, my time. That's why a lot of times I don't want to hear no social. Like what Kofi said earlier in like the podcast, it's like, don't trust, verify, bro.
Yeah.
Where is your information coming from?
Exactly.
You don't read books. You don't even be on YouTube. You just social media or something that your mom told
you. It's a group think.
You know what
you go in the comments, you see the same thing. You're like, oh yeah, it gotta be that. That gotta be the right answer.
What the biggest way to become a single mom is to listen to single moms.
Listen, hold on. Let's clear this up real quick before they will crucify you. Okay,
Real is back.
I know you don't care. But
Real
we're
is
gonna
back.
make sure we clarify this.
Listen,
for the brothers that are listening,
water right now.
Okay,
Real is
hold on, Dimitri. I know you want to go. But let's clarify that point.
Real is back.
Listen, okay, you gonna clarify it? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Before I clarify,
listen.
Go ahead.
If you grew up with a single mom and she has never had any type of positive outlook on what men should be, what do you expect her to teach you about men moving forward? She's going to give you the same toxic outlook, that she grew up thinking was okay because she's never done any healing for herself.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She's gonna give you the same negative. She's gonna. What's the word I'm looking for?
Insight.
Well, there's gonna be the same negative insight that she's had her whole life, and she's going to project that on you.
Yes.
And then you're going to think this is okay because my mom said it.
Here's the reason why I was like, let me pause you, brother. Because I get what you're saying. Even when we go back to the point about women and like not having male in their household or like a male figure, I get that for sure. But whenever I'm making a point like this, I always try to say some.
Yeah.
Because you want to avoid, no, seriously, I'm content 101, brother. I'm telling you right now. You want to avoid the generalization. Even though some and a lot are still somewhat generalizations in themselves, I'm not saying all. Because the reason why, there's always an outlier. There could be a single mom that grew up and had all of this toxic outlook and unhealthy stuff and just went on a crazy healing journey and is now able to see the error in her ways and is given actual good game and insight and advice. So I don't want to say like the quickest way to be a single mom is by listening to other single moms. Because then what we do is we ostracize all of the single moms that are working so hard to try and build a future for whoever it is that they have, that they're taking care of or whatever their circumstance is. And I feel like there's a lot of dope. I know some single moms right now.
So I don't mean all single moms.
I got some single moms.
Because I'm pretty sure Mel mom didn't go, man, like, or else, he wouldn't be like this. I'm pretty sure she didn't go, no, niggas ain't shit.
She did.
Right.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying.
My grandmama.
You have a valid point. It's just, it's not everybody. And nobody's point is going to be everybody.
Yeah.
You feel me? Everything that I say, nothing that I say on this platform is going to be for everybody. But we just got to make sure, I know it should be understood, but we understand you. And not everybody else understands you and knows that you mean well when you're saying these things. So we gotta make sure, especially since you're wearing glasses,
green jacket.
You know what I mean? Yeah, with a fitted on, you gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Is he on the
We just gotta make sure that when we say these things that we clarify for the groups of people that don't fall within that specific generalization, but they are in that demographic.
Who's this mysterious
You get what I'm saying? So like, I just want to make sure that that's being said so that nobody is, I don't got time for it. And granted, this is not going to be a big thing regardless. But I'm just saying, like, in the future.
To clarify.
You already clarified it. You don't even worry about
cool.
it. Yeah, you good. You ain't saying, there's nothing wrong, right? I'm just giving you content 101 game. Because this is something I had to learn early on. I used to just be on some, and people do this and people do that. People were like, yo, what you mean? And I also remembered, like, seeing content online where they'll say, think about it from this perspective. Imagine you listening to you on social media and somebody's like, man, black men ain't poop. First thing you're gonna be like, you're gonna be like, no, I'm something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big poop. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm something, bro. So it's the same lens. Just think about it from a single mom's perspective. And she hears, for a quick way to be a single mom is to listen to a single mom. She's gonna be like, really? I'm doing a good job taking care of Tommy. You know what I'm saying? So
You know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen?
What's up?
It might just hit that part. Click pause.
That's exactly what happens.
And I'm not listening to the rest.
Yeah.
Duh.
Especially some black men, they're misogynistic. They're sexist.
Oh, bro.
Now Dimetri done turned the whole single mom community against us. And we need single moms. When you think about it, we actually do need single moms.
We need black women, period.
We need black women, period, for sure. But if we had to sit here and think about a child in a single parent household versus a 2-parent household, which child is more likely to go through trauma?
The single parent household.
So if we want to make sure that we're addressing and making sure that we're building a better future and community, we got to get to the single parents. We can't ostracize the single moms. You get what I'm saying? So we can't make, yeah, you're terrible, Dimitri. You're a horrible person. Now, it's so.
I'll say what I'm going to say after this.
Nah, what you get what I'm saying? If we trying to build the community and we know that there's a part of our community that needs that help and there's a likelihood that they may go through more trauma than the other part of our community, we got to be all the more empathetic with them. We got to be all the more empathetic.
I still need more healing.
It's all right, brother. It's okay to admit that, brother.
It's okay,
It's
brother.
okay to admit that, brother.
The content got you, huh? The social media rhetoric got you.
He said, I'm tired of this.
Oh, nah.
He said,
When I was talking,
you're gonna be single because you listen to single women.
when I was talking, I was just really thinking about like everything I seen growing up.
Okay.
And I was just like,
I respect that.
It came out.
it started feeling passionate afterwards. Like,
Something's going on a rant.
nah, for real. And another thing,
You gotta fuck him with his ass.
We get it though. We get what you mean.
Yeah, bro.
We get what you're saying. But don't say that ever again. Please though. Trying to get us canceled.
Yeah, word, leave.
I don't want my credit fixed by that guy.
So I was
Listen.
in another podcast. And he
Listen.
said, you know what? I was running some black men podcast and I told them, single moms, I'm gonna be in the back like this.
No, we get what you mean.
Nah, funny.
We get what you mean though.
We get what you mean. You good, bro. Don't, you straight, bro.
I'm just
Oh, my social media is off.
You know what I'm saying? I've never actually looked in the comment section on that expression, so like,
No, you don't need.
Oh yeah.
I don't never look at it.
They
I see one thing,
been giving you hell.
bro. I see
They been giving you hell.
I seen something one time and I was like, immediately when my mind went, I don't give a fuck about what you think.
No. Don't go in the comments saying.
So I just stopped doing that altogether.
Yeah, don't go in the comments saying that. But nah, man.
And every time I be like, yo, I was like, hey, Kofi, he done said, did you see that? Yeah, I did, bro. I just kept on.
Yeah. I got,
Kept on going.
listen, bro, I'm not, first of all, I don't read comments anymore for multiple reasons. Just because there's too many people now that's like, you can't manage everything. When we had like less than 10,000 followers,
That's 70%.
yeah, we straight. When we had like less than 10,000 followers, like it was cool. Cause you could, I almost knew everybody. I knew all the like people that would comment and all. I knew people. I knew them.
But
Now we're at over 300,000.
Ooh, let's clap that. Let's clap for that. Let's clap for that, bro. That's a big accomplishment.
Nah,
I know you don't like to.
yeah.
hone in on that. He don't like to celebrate. He a person, bro. He'll get to 300K and still be like, yeah. So yeah.
you hate when I be calling out them numbers.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. Yeah.
You know what the next one is?
Yo, relax, buddy. Relax, buddy.
Listen, bro.
gonna
That's
say
a
next
huge
one.
accomplishment,
Yeah.
bro.
I'm gonna say next one.
You can say it on camera. Say it on camera.
500K.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. We hit 300K like maybe 2 weeks ago, bro.
Yeah, that was recently because I was watching.
And we're at 320.
That's crazy. Amazing, bro.
We had a shout out to Denzel Washington.
I seen that
give him
one.
A round of applause.
I seen that one. I seen that video.
I gotta go back on social media?
I seen that video.
I
He
gotta go
look-
back on social media?
Nah, I mean, if you want to, you don't got to, bro. If you
happened?
want to, you don't have to.
I
But
didn't know what happened.
bro, we put up a reel of Denzel Washington. He did an interview talking about how to live a peaceful life.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
And bro, that thing has done more than 3 million views.
Yeah.
On Reels, it's had over 200,000 likes, over 100,000 shares.
Went crazy.
It went absolutely crazy. I think that to this day, I don't think it's our most viral. It's definitely top 3 or top 5 for sure. but it brought in so many like followers. And only when we post like a repurposed clip like that of somebody else,
He shared
it doesn't. He shared it?
Did he share it?
Oh no!
Denzel?
We need you. Come on!
I thought he shared it.
Nah. He didn't share it. It was just him, doing an interview, and we shared it. I did not expect it to do that well, bro. And it's done really well. A lot of our other content is not really hitting the way it's supposed to hit right now. So it is what it is. But that piece of content is doing numbers right now. So it's really like carrying our platform as a whole. That's one thing too with social media, bro. You can't get too caught up in like what every piece of content is doing. A lot of our content I know is good. It's just not reaching our audience. And there's obviously things that I can do about that, but at the same time, I'm not gonna kill myself to try and identify what is all the wrong things. The content is really good. Nothing of the formula has changed. The platform in itself that we're using to disseminate the content has changed, whether it be the algorithm, what they want to prioritize, the timing, whatever. So we're going to try different things, but I'm not going to kill myself to try and create engagement because I already know what we've built has long-standing value and impact, and it is built and rooted in integrity. So I don't want to worry about too much about like, how do we get more engagement? So for people that's like worried about like, damn, my post not getting enough engagement, I'm not doing this and that. I never tell you not to look at your data, look at your analytics and see what's doing well and then do more of that for sure. But don't kill yourself thinking that you're not posting the right things or your content isn't good enough or whatever the case may be. Because coming from a person that runs a platform that has over 300,000 followers, we still have droughts. We have seasons where we get stuck on certain numbers. And I know the numbers, bro. I can remember, we got stuck on like 66 or 67K or something like that. We got stuck on like 298K. We got stuck on 298K for like a month. Couldn't tell you why. Content was still doing well. I could not tell you why we got stuck on 298K.
I remember because I think that was the time when I saw him back on Instagram.
I could not tell you why we got stuck on 298, but it's in my head. Why would that random number be in my head? I'm not capping. I'm serious. We was on 298K for like a month, bro. So we have those periods where we just get stuck in certain numbers, and like even if content is doing well, content is not doing well, we still keep posting. That's the difference between us and other people. People think it's like we gotta like people when you get to this level, people start thinking that you got like some type of magic formula or something. Like we don't got no type of formula. Instagram don't talk to us. We don't even get paid from Reels.
Bro, and that's still crazy to me.
It's still crazy. It is, and it is what it is. We don't even get paid from Reels, bro. We don't get paid from none of the content we post.
No,
Nothing. Not on TikTok either. And we don't post on Facebook because I don't like Facebook, bro. I really don't mess with Facebook, even though I'm on Instagram, which makes no sense because I'm not gonna lie, Instagram.
But
it's better than Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different platform.
The craziest part is,
so yeah, bro.
I don't use Facebook. I don't even know how to use Facebook no more, bro. But when I really think about it, you probably have a greater reach because people be a lot of people be on Facebook, and they actually be commenting and sharing. When I be looking on, I'm like, people still use this?
You can get a bag off Facebook. I heard that's how Tabitha Brown really blew up.
Yeah,
is off Facebook. She had a Facebook group. She built her community off of Facebook first, and then I think she migrated to Instagram or whatever. But yeah, she kind of got popping off of Facebook and then went from there. But Facebook has an older community. Mm-hmm. It's like if I wanted to market to the older community,
you go on Facebook.
I'm gonna go on Facebook.
No, I don't think it's just the older community, bro. I feel like I see a lot of people engaging on there instead of like rather than Instagram.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they don't have young people, but I'm saying as a whole, the demographic on Facebook is more older people. Mm-hmm. You don't see like. Do you even log? You have the Facebook app. Like, let's just take a poll. Do you log into your Facebook?
It's like
how often do you use a Facebook weekly?
I don't use it to do anything but look at people's birthdays.
Do you use it weekly? You use it weekly?
Oh, you not?
No.
Monthly?
No.
I haven't.
I mean,
no, the Facebook.
I see it.
I haven't had Facebook.
I got notifications.
You guys are my demographic.
Yeah.
Y'all are not on Facebook, bro.
I haven't been on Facebook in
you get what I'm saying? Bro. If I wanted to reach older black men, like 45 to like 60, I'd post more on Facebook.
Yeah.
Not to say I don't want to reach them, but at the same time, like I know my calling is to call and not minister, but for lack of better words, speak to and help black men that are in these stages and a little bit younger in our lives. This is where we need to hear it. When you're about to have your first kid or you have your first kid and you're going through stuff, or you got stuff going on with your family at home, but you're still trying to transition and make stuff happen for yourself and like make sure that you have your own. This is the time where you need to hear the messages the most. Right. Not when you're 45, 60, you done made all the mistakes already and your kids is teenagers and they in college. You done, it's over. I'm sorry, not to say your life is over, but hey man.
You can still change it, right?
You can make some changes. You can make some changes, but listen.
It's already locked in.
You had your chance. You're already locked in a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff has been locked in, brother. That's a fact. It's going to have to be a lot of undoing. We want to get to you. I want to get to you before you had to get to the point of the undoing. I want to get you right before you get there so that you can be able to assess like, damn, you know what? Maybe I should take a different route. Yeah, those are the people I'm trying to talk to. So Facebook, yeah, for sure, we can get on there and do stuff, but it's like I don't really know. It's like
it's like the X now. We good.
Listen, I don't Facebook and Twitter. I don't know nothing about no Meta and no nothing about Twitter.
Twitter is X.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying is Facebook and Twitter. I don't know nothing about no Meta and no X.
Yeah, stay with it.
They will forever be Facebook and Twitter to me. You trying to rebrand and make it seem like y'all into AI and y'all all this. Nah. It's Facebook. That blue F. And that blue and white,
the bluebird.
Bird.
The white bird.
The white bird.
Yeah, like, nah, man. I'm like, nah, none of that. People try to be like, yo, on X. On who?
Yeah.
Before we end, we got a new tradition on the pod. Y'all know about the new tradition?
You don't know.
Tradition? Okay, anyways, right?
No, what is it?
The new tradition on the pod is you gotta speak into your camera and talk to the black man that's struggling right now and tell them something. So, to the black man that's struggling right now, I want you to think about what it is that you think he needs to hear. It could be about anything that we talked about. It could be about anything. It could be about stuff that we didn't talk about. And when you're ready, you speak into your camera, you say that. Not at the same time, because we got multiple guests, so I haven't done this with multiple guests before.
Got you.
So whoever wants to go first, you raise your hand or whatever, however y'all want to do it. You look into your camera directly, and you say what you need to say to the black man that's struggling right now. And then we'll do social medias, and then we get up out of here.
Black man, if you want to change your outcome and what your future looks like, it starts with you. You got to be the first person to take responsibility for what's around you and create that future for yourself.
Black man, if you want to be a leader in your family, you have to be willing to submit as well. Leaders also serve who they lead. So,
black man, I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but you matter. Your presence is valuable. Your future is worth fighting for. You're loved. I need you to keep pushing through because things are only temporary. We love you.
This has been good, man. This has been really good. Tell the people where they can find you, anything y'all got coming up, how they can support. What's up? We can start with you, Dimetri, and then go down.
Find me at Javon White. That's JAHVAN White on Instagram. Doing a little bit of rebranding right now, but when I'm back, I'll be back.
Okay. What do you do?
I'm a photographer, videographer, cinematographer, one of the greatest creatives you will ever meet.
You can find me on absolutely nothing.
Find me on the block.
I ain't rebranded myself with God, so that's why I don't have social media. But when this video come out, and for Kofi know when it comes out, I'll be able to open up my Instagram, and you guys can follow me if you like. My Instagram handle, Lord, I forgot.
Just King David.
Thank you. At Just King David on Instagram, but I probably won't be it.
See how good of a friend I am that I know your Instagram?
Awesome about it.
Even though you deactivated it?
Yeah, I had to stop. I feel
you guys can follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Well, I don't really use TikTok like that. At Building Block Credit. You can follow me on Twitter. I think it's BB Credit. I don't even know. Website is buildingblockfinancials.com. If you need credit repair, budgeting, personal finance, personal or business funding, that's the handle.
And
I appreciate y'all, man. Good. I appreciate y'all. This has been dope, man. This has been good, man. Clap it up. Clap it up for yourselves, man. Amazing episode. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you are planning an event or you are part of your organization's Black employee group and you are interested in having dope Black mental health professionals or myself come in and do a speaking engagement or a workshop or a keynote address or a panel,
please click the link in our bio on Instagram or TikTok. Scroll down and click book us for speaking and brand deals and fill out the form available on our website. Once you fill out the form, one of our team members will get back to you about how we can collaborate and create something dope for your organization. This is an unparalleled opportunity. We are currently the largest Black men's mental health platform, and we have a few slots available for our calendar year, and we would love to partner with you to create something dope for your organization if it makes sense for both parties, right? So go to the link in our bio, scroll down, click book us for speaking and brand deals, and fill out that form. If you're not on Instagram, the link should be linked in our description of this episode. And it is also on our website. If you go to expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. That's expressyourselfblackman.com/speaking-brand-deals. If you are looking for a therapist, a Black therapist, and you've had a hard time finding one, you've jumped from therapist to therapist, or you just don't know how to find a therapist, we are teaching a free webinar. It's completely free, taking you from not knowing how to find a therapist, not knowing where to search for therapists, struggling with finding good therapists for you, not knowing what to look for in therapists, teaching you all of those different things, and also giving you the opportunity at the end of the webinar to be connected with one of our safe haven healers who are Black mental health professionals, so that you do not have to go through the struggles of finding a Black therapist alone anymore, right? So if you're interested in that, you want to get connected with a Black mental health professional at the end of the webinar, or you just want to learn how to find a Black therapist by yourself, you can sign up for the free webinar. It's linked in our bio on Instagram and TikTok. You just click that free webinar link once you click the link in our bio and fill out the form. You can also find it on our website at expressyourselfblackman.com/links and fill out the form there for our next webinar session. If you're not interested in any of that, right, but you know someone that may be interested in it, all we ask is that you please share it. If you want some of the merch that we show on the platform all the time, that we're wearing on the platform all the time, you can shop it at shop.expressyourselfblackman.com. And once again, we just want to say thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for supporting us. Please, if you are on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, comment. If you're listening to this on an audio platform, please leave a review. It helps us out greatly. Thank you so much for your support. We're wishing you nothing but the best and sending you and your family and your loved ones love and light. Peace.
Sometimes I know you feel like you ain't got nobody to speak to. Shoulder to lean on somebody you could preach to. No, you need to hear it, my brother, I love you. We got way too much to live for. We got way too much to live for.